Welcome into the Cam Strick Podcast, episode number 230, presented by Hair Club.
How do I sound, by the way? Do I sound okay?
Can I just say something real quick? Because you've been really creating a lot of internal issues the last couple of weeks when we have to record, when you're on assignment, and like I send you somewhere to go get something done, and you have to do the podcast when we're not in studio together. And you make us sit around and wait for you to get all, everything all figured out, get your, you just can't figure things out. If the roles were reversed and if it was me holding you up and making you wait and you couldn't figure out how to get your microphone to work, dude, you'd be going absolutely crazy. So I hope you appreciate the patience that we're showing with you today.
No, I know, man. And I'm going crazy anyway. I'm mad at the situation with my stupid fucking computer, but now I'm on my phone. So if we do kind of I think we can't interrupt each other because they'll cut out. So just all y'all out there know that, it might sound a little goofy here and there, and we apologize and blame it on me. Yeah, Andy sent me on assignment to Florida, 45 degrees out with my in-laws. So yeah.
Is that the weather?
Yeah, dude, I could skate on the ocean. We just get back from Nashville. I haven't slept in 3 days, and then we drive down to Florida. And it's been nice, man. We got a big house here. We watch all the games over the weekend. We're cooking. It's good. Look, I gotta do family shit, and they're all around the house right now, and they're listening to everything I'm saying too. So I'm also rolling the dice on that.
Yeah. How's the dynamic going with the in-laws and everything? Is everybody getting along? Are you giving them enough time to get into the bathroom, to take showers? Are you bumping into each other in the kitchen?
Well, that's something, but the house is huge. It's 7,000 square feet. It's everybody's got a private area. But you know how I am. I drink a lot. So everybody's kind of watching me grab a beer. My nieces kind of watch everything you do. I'm smoking my fucking vape. I got chew in my mouth over the place. I'm kind of a messy guy. And so I'm very concerned about making a mess in front of everybody. I'm not used to being around people like this in a house. I don't normally do that. But when your wife asks you to do something, Andy, and she wants to do a family vacation when it feels like Canada and Florida, you can't bitch. You just got to go do your thing, baby. That's what you got to do.
Okay, so are you grabbing beers in the morning, in front of her parents and everything? What's the reaction from everybody else? And is anybody else partying with you, or are you kind of on an island by yourself here?
Andy, I'm always on an island by myself, except for in Nashville when we're partying with all the boys when they're in psycho mode. But no, man, I'm the alcoholic of the group, and I got to be cognizant of what the little girls are seeing me do. But that's okay. But there's nothing to do. I just got to drink myself stupid because you can't go to the beach. It's too fucking cold. Kate and I went around yesterday and found some good food. I love seafood so much. So we found this little place, and I had oysters the size of your head, Andy, and they were damn good. And they're an aphrodisiac too, by the way. So you crush 12 of those fat-ass oysters, you got a boner from here to goddamn Missouri. And then I came home, and then I kind of lose the luster because her family's everywhere. So I'm like, what do I do?
Well, that's why you go to the beach. So aphrodisiacs. So you're saying that the oysters will make you a little bit horny. What other foods would you put in that category?
Dark chocolate is in there. Oysters are certainly an aphrodisiac, and so. But then I'm when Kate and I are in hotel rooms together, it's who cares? But when you're in a family function, God, I'm I don't know. It's just a little different mindset, you know what I mean? But it's all good. Look, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's cool. I'm Uncle Cam. There's a little lookout tower on the top that we could see the ocean. It's really pretty, but it's fucking cold, man. It's so cold down here. It's the coldest it's ever been, in years. So that kind of sucks.
Well, all those kids out there for spring break. Hey, watch out for those college kids, Cam. Especially if Kate's out there, man. Kate's at the bar. They may think she's a sophomore at University of Florida.
Well, I'm not near any of that bullshit. That's Panama City and stuff, dude. I'm not going there. This is Rosemary Beach. It's chill. But Nashville was a disaster. I was in my anxiety. Oh God, Andy, you saw me waiting in line, which I hate doing anyway. Oh God, you saw the look on my face. I'm trying to find my wife the last night. She's there. She got to one of those, I think it was Tootsie's at like 5:00. And then by the time it's 6:30, the place is packed. Guys are like over, like, rah, rah, oh, woman, rah. Like, Jesus. She's like, where you at? I'm like, I'm trying to find you. Fuck Nashville, man. Like, it was so packed. 19-year-olds flying around. Guys, 20 guys jumping one dude, curb stomping them at 3:00 in the morning one night. It's like, it's too much for me, man. Like, I like chill places, dude. I like to be able to listen to our buddies tell stories that are goddamn hilarious. Man, I'm bumping into people left and fucking right. You try to take your broad down there. Oh, you got Pepe Le Pew's out the wazoo, sniffing around, touching touchy-feely fucking weirdos. Fuck that place. And not to mention, like, we'll spend money. Like, you could spend, it's so expensive in Nashville now. You buy a round of beers, man. Like, it's like you're in fucking Paris. Or Tokyo.
Yeah, I know, man. It's like Tokyo. No, Cam was having an issue the last night. First off, let me just explain Nashville for people. Especially all my people in Saskatchewan. What up? I'll give you all a shout out. Saskatchewan, Alberta, all my people.
Manitoba,
everywhere. Saskatchewan, like I said, Saskatoon, all the people. Okay. PEI from coast to coast up in Canada. If you're gonna come to Nash, man, I mean, you gotta pack your patience because you're gonna need some patience. You gotta pack your wallet. Now, Cam, you weren't having it, man. Like standing in line. And that's where Cam doesn't have patience. Like if a guest we're gonna have on is like 5 minutes late, he starts losing his mind. So standing in line with a bunch of teenagers who are there on spring break, dude, that's not your thing.
Oh man, I don't. It was so packed in there, and I don't know why we picked that spot to go. Like, you wait in line to get in, which is already embarrassing enough. Like, sorry, I'm a princess. I don't give a shit. I hate waiting in line. My daddy didn't wait in line because he saw his daddy in World War II had to wait in line to see his brother for the first time in 2 years and didn't. And all of a sudden he gets to the front of the line and his brother's like waving to him on an aircraft carrier and he never got to see him again. So that trickled down to my dad. And then that gene trickled down to me. And the more you go out and you're already sick of that scene, to go back to waiting in line, which we really never did anyway, being from St. Louis. Anywhere you went, like, people took care of it. But like this particular thing, man, there is a couple times where you will go to some bars, dude. And we went to one bar. It was actually Kid Rock's. It was 3:00 in the afternoon. We all go there. We got 20 swinging dicks with us. We find a spot. It's jam-packed. You got these guys, this band singing. They're great. And all of a sudden you see this blonde, police blonde, cute as hell. Look like Kate. Like, everybody's like, oh, there's Kate. And I'm like, what is that? I'm like, no. And she's got all leather. And she walks down. You're like, oh, she's a beer girl. I'm like, Jesus. She walks down the stage. They're playing a game. She stands on the bar, grabs a mic, and starts wailing and singing and dancing. And she did it for like an hour. And we're like, wow, that was the coolest thing going there. So you'll find something cool like that. But everywhere else, if you have to wait in line, and it's just there's too many fucking people. And I know it was amplified because of spring break, but that wears you out, man. That was a long week as it is, with all the guys getting organized, partying, skating, doing this. We had some competition skates, man, competitive skates. And then the last night I was like, get these motherfuckers away from me. And, it is what it is, man. It wears you out.
Well, I think you need to calm down just a little bit. I mean, and deal with the line. Listen, the lines are very short.
No, they're not.
I mean, they look long, but they go very fast. And let me say this, Cam. Nashville is a spot. It's kind of turned into Vegas where you don't need to be there for 3 nights. I mean, I know we were there because you had the hockey thing and everything going on. So that's how long we were there. But in terms of going out on Broadway, I mean, Nashville has become such a popular spot, and it's so different than everywhere else. 3 nights is a little aggressive to be in Nashville, Tennessee. One night, maybe 2. 3 nights is a little much.
Well, don't worry about it, Andy, because the way we performed, or you performed over the weekend, you're probably not going to get invited back anyway. So
are you putting me in your category? Cam, everyone even said on the plane on the way back that you may have been like, they have like analytics that they chart in terms of like, your Corsi and like how you actually did. Like you probably analytically rated out to be the worst player on our roster. I was very surprised by that. See, like, I got to explain this to you, Cam. Hockey is a type of sport where once you put it down, and like if you're a really good player, like I've played with more like Hall of Fame NHL players who were unbelievable, some of the best players in the history of the game, but then they go years without playing, and it's not a sport that you can just pick back up and all of a sudden rediscover. That's why guys who really weren't that good growing up all of a sudden look like superstars playing men's league because they play every single week, several days a week. They never put the skates or the stick down. They never take the skates off, and they just maintain, and they even get better in their old age. You can't just stop playing and think that you're going to continue to be good, dude. It doesn't work that way.
I agree with you. I agree with that. And I stayed up all night the night before. But, Andy, like, I'm not going to be mean to you on this because I don't want to be negative. I'm already bitching about waiting in line. People are already shaking their heads at me. So I'm not going to be mean to you unless you start it with me.
Well,
can
I talk about your performance?
I will be mean to you, Andy, and I don't want to be. So don't just. We can move on. We can move on. Just don't. Giving you the morning right now. We can move on, but if you want to go, then we'll go.
Cam, that's a defense mechanism for you because you don't want to have your game broken down. Listen, I know I'm slow. I know I can't skate nearly as fast as I used to be able to, and I know I've slowed down. I'm much older than you. And I don't ever play. Like I don't go play pickup hockey. I'm not in men's leagues. I don't go to I'm on the ice with my kid, and like you don't even move around. So every night, yeah. So my hands are actually okay. And you can maintain your hands, but the skating and the speed and the conditioning aspect of it, dude, it's shot. It's completely gone.
I like how you just contradict yourself so much. And he's like, I don't skate that much except for every single night. And you just like had a little fucking soliloquy about me and not skating and how I got to keep up because I'm not skating anymore. Like, where are you, homie? But it's all good, man. I stayed on the line with Andy the whole time. So I couldn't put him with anybody else because guys would be so fucking pissed. So I got to give Sean Muncie a shout out, who went to Brown. He's just a St. Louis kid that we know. Very successful, fucking money guy. He's Andy's roommate, and he was on our line, and he just was so complimentary because I would take 30-second shifts, and I'm gassed because I was going at it hard and Sean kind of like made up for it, but it was competitive. We got a little rough at the end, it kind of got out your fucking testosterone out of you a little bit, man. Like, okay, bumping into each other a little bit, like it was cool. I wish Chaser would have had a better setup as far as like actually winning a tournament, more tournament style where you win a goddamn cup or something. Like guys that spend a lot of money, they want to be competitive. And when you play the teams that aren't competitive, you don't go hard against them, but you go hard against the teams that have a fucking stack lineup. They're talking a little shit. They're Canadian boys, they're coaches, they played juniors, they did this, and they want a piece of you. We're bragging about how good we are. So we went toe-to-toe with some teams, man, and it felt good. Afterwards, you're like, fuck yeah. Like you're walking around like, yeah, what's up? Like, I liked that feeling, and I missed it. It was fun. And we had such a good group of guys. I'll give Brad May a shout-out. Brad May, Mayday, you're the coolest cat in the world. He talked to everybody. He hung out with us at dinner. He partied with the guys till like fucking 3 a.m. Cool as shit. Fun as hell. Telling stories. Talked to everybody the same. He talked to, whether it's Daddy Goddamn Padre, to somebody else, it doesn't matter. Brad May treats you the same. A little shout out to you, big boy. Awesome guy, Andy.
Yeah, no, he was. He and I actually the last night ended up breaking away and went out for a little while, dude. He's hilarious, dude. He's like dancing. He's like grinding on the dance floor. This guy. So,
but not in a wait, Andy. Don't. Yeah. No, but not in a weird way. Just so everybody knows, like he's a married guy. Like he's just fun.
He's not grinding women. I didn't say that. No, he's just doing these dance moves, dude, that are just hilarious.
There you go.
Okay, so I mean, but Cam, getting back to your, you have no hockey sense, dude. Like, and your passing ability. Listen, you fanned on a one-timer that I gave you a beautiful pass through a stick. You fanned on that one. I'm wide open, like entry. You can't kick it over. You can't, just kick it over to the wing. You can't make a play on the rush. And that's the area of your game that has really just fizzled out. It's just the passing aspect. Like the skating and the conditioning. But all these other guys who played in the NHL, Cam, who played for a long time, that's the one thing they can still do. They can always pass. They all have good hands. Even though the conditioning part of it may not be there, their skating, their speed may not be there, but they can all like handle the puck. You've lost that part of it, dude. Like Andy, you played in the NHL. Don't talk about my game. I'm talking about your game, dude. You have completely lost that part of it.
I had a couple of nice goals, and I was flying around pretty good because I can still skate, but my hand-eye coordination was terrible because I was fucking getting after it all day, and I was drinking the whole time. Andy, I love you, dude. You probably won't get invited next year. I don't know. I'll try to get it done. But like playing with you was like literally having a child that comes out to a skate and you're like, everybody's babying you around. Like it's just, you of all the hockey you watch, like I'm trying to get you a goal. Everybody's trying to get you a goal because you're like the child of the group. And we're like, 2-on-0 me and you have, he comes behind me. Like he skates behind me. I'm like, what do you like of all the hockey you watch? Like, who are you kidding? You started this whole thing. It's all good. I need to be better, man. I'm out of shape. I just was going too hard, but like, I got to find a reason to get you back. And like, if you want to get into detail, like your game.
Well, so let me tell the people real quick.
So what else? Wait, I'm out.
I wasn't behind you.
So we were on a
2-on-0. Cam,
are you funny? Like, are you paying for people's drinks? So what how do I convince the guys to bring you next time? What did you bring to the table? Because no one wants to play with you. And like, you're not buying drinks. Are you making people laugh? Like, what are we doing here? So there's got to be a reason. I love you to death, but you're going to chirp me like that. It's like, that's fine. But I entertain everybody.
Cam, you
like,
just got to eat you got to eat this one, dude.
It wasn't good.
One. Thank you.
Andy, I got to try to find a reason to bring you back. Like that's what you should worry. Don't worry about me. I'm going. How am I going to convince them to bring you back? Are you going to bring a bunch of treats? Like, are you going to bring party favors out the fucking ass? If that's the case, then shit, you're coming. But I don't think you could do that. So how do I convince these guys?
I'll bring some hard seltzers.
Yeah. That was cool. I'm glad that you did. And First Form too, and we'll get to them in a little bit. I don't want to be a dick. I had a good time with you, man. Like, honestly, the hockey was funny. The guys were cool. I stuck up for you so much, just so you know. Like, the guys, like, if I chirp Andy, then two guys will gang up, and I'm like, okay. Then I got to step in. It's like, okay, I could do it. I don't want other people doing it. Jamie Rivers will jump in too much. I'm like, tell him to shut the fuck up a little bit. Like, Jamie, sit down. Just sit down. Like, I'll still smack your ass around. Don't get me wrong. 250. So now I got to stick up for Andy here and there. Like
nobody was chirping, dude. Everybody was being cool, man. Nobody was chirping. Okay, dude.
That's all good. But I did have a good time with you, man. I had a good time with you. I truly did.
Yeah,
I really did. It was fun, man. We had a good time. We ate good food. We won the main game. It was competitive. You're right. I was terrible. I wasn't good. I had a couple nice goals. I don't want to chirp you anymore. I stayed on the line.
I think you scored one.
I had a couple, but I'm glad I stayed on the line with you, so I didn't piss anybody off. And I'll give again Sean Muncy, Jeff Lavecchio was a fucking workhorse for us. That was fun, man. It was a good time.
I had a ton of chances, and I just couldn't find a way to score. But the goalie was making. I hit the crossbar in the last game. I mean, the goalie was making some saves too. I'll give him credit.
Funny, man.
I hit the crossbar and the puck bounced straight in the air.
You guys, all y'all out there, if you know, man, like the first game was kind of slow. We killed them like 12-1. And Andy had the puck here and there because no one's like following him around. Like it just goes to him, And then the second game was fast. And
that was fast.
You dude. Just sometimes.
No, I wasn't fucking feeling that one. That one, I don't.
Andy's
I don't
ghost.
Need that
He's
one.
a ghost. Andy's a ghost.
I think you were too, man. That second game was not. We played. That's the team we played in the final, and in the final, the game kind of slowed down, man. You kind of got your.
Oh, good, but we got physical, man. Like we look when you're playing against guys and you're supposed to be winning. The guys are chirping you. I had a couple guys chirping, and it's actually a funny story. We had Big Jim McKenzie on our team, who we love. Big fucking Jimmy Mac knocked out Tony Twist with a left. Look that up on YouTube. So we're playing against this team, and this kid's chirping me, and everybody's seeing it, and guys are getting pissed. And I'm like, I don't want to, like, I'm competitive, but I'm nice to everybody. We shoot, we chirp, fun, it's not like, fuck you. So I kind of eat it, and they're killing us, and they're mocking us, and we're like, fuck. So now I'm getting kind of pissed. All the guys are getting pissed. So this guy keeps like bumping, nice hands, Cam. I'm like, what? I go, what the fuck you say, boy? I go, what the fuck you say, boy? I go, get over here. I'll give him a little whack. I go, don't fuck with me. Like, I love you. It's all good. We'll party tonight. But enough's enough. Like, we're pissed. Like, don't rub it in. Like, it's all good. And he kept doing it. And I turn on and I fucking whack him. Now I'm like, what the fuck? Now I'm starting to bump into him. Like, fuck this. And so at the end of the game, this guy keeps like talking shit. And one of our guys, Tony Dehart, who's just a sweetheart, the nicest kid, such a good hockey player. We love him. Goes and runs this dude. And we're like, oh boy. And then they're kind of like, sorry, everybody comes together. That kid was Jim McKenzie's son. And we didn't know. And Mac didn't fucking tell us. And so the kid comes after me after all he gets rocked. And he's like, Cam, I thought you knew who I was. I go, who are you? He goes, I'm Jim Mac's son. And I go, oh. I go, well, then why are you talking shit so much? He goes, I thought you knew. I go, how am I supposed to know that how the hell am I supposed to know that? But Jim McKenzie was so mad, not at us, but he was so mad at this kid, dude. I think he beat his ass that night, Andy. Mac was so mad at his own son because his son wouldn't shut the fuck up. He was chirping. And Jimmy Mac didn't even tell us it was his kid because he was so embarrassed about it. But it all worked out. We had fun with all of them. But it got a little rowdy, and, it is what it is. But it was pretty funny. Like, he's like, I'm Jim McKenzie's son. I go, I didn't know that. And Mac didn't say anything because he was so pissed at his kid. It was anyway, whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, Cam's almost getting in a fight out there, and it happens to be Jim McKenzie's son. Like, that's who he's trying to fight out there.
No,
unbelievable.
No, I don't.
Unbelievable.
I don't. I'm actually really good. That's why I get invited to all these things, Andy. That's just so you know. But then we had a thing, and we all went up, all the Brian McGrattan, myself, Dennis Bonvie, fucking Mayday, Stewie Grimson, Big Jimmy Matt, just all these tough guys. We all went on stage and John Winsick was with us, had a little Q&A, told some stories on stage, entertained everybody. It's fucking cool, man. It's all cool. But I got sick of Nashville pretty quick with all the swinging dicks everywhere. Yeah, there's cute girls, man. Don't get me wrong. But the swinging dick fest, oh, God. Like, they're everywhere. Like, it was just too much, man. I get anxiety, dude. I'm like, get me out.
Yeah, your anxiety was out of control at one point, man. You were losing your mind.
I'm trying to find my wife. She's texting me off the hook. Where are you? I'm like, where are you? There's blondes everywhere. They all look alike. I can't fucking find her. And I'm waiting in line. And then you go in this place and it's just lines everywhere. It's like, ugh, I can't deal with it.
Dude, here's the worst thing. When you're out of town, when you're with a bunch of dudes and you've been going hard for 3 nights, and then the last night, your wife shows up,
yeah, man,
and she's never been to Nashville before, and she's just ready to absolutely explode and be like, "Oh, this place is awesome!" And you're completely out of energy. You're exhausted. You just want to go to bed.
Yep.
And now they want to go out all night long, dude. I could not imagine being in that situation, dude.
Well, I finally found her, and I go, we're going. Get the hell out of this area. Too much going on. We found these little, Kate had a hotel room, really cute hotel right up the street. And so we creeped up and we found this cute little dive bar with singing, and it was right next to our hotel. And me and her just chilled there, got wasted. She calmed down. I calmed down. She got, the first time I haven't seen her in like 3 days in like years. So I got frisky. And then we went up there and I got in the shower and she got it. Because you see all these blondes and you're like, God damn. And I was, it was nice. But at the beginning, I'm like, where the hell are you? We're kind of fighting with each other. Like, I can't find you. Da, da, da. I was so worn out. She was ready to go. Da, da. It's all good. It's all good. And now I'm here in Florida, 47 degrees outside in a house with her family. And,
Hey, how was the drive to Florida? Anything fun or interesting happened? Did your wife drive you the whole time?
Yeah, she drove. It was raining the whole time. Like, Alabama's a long ass state, man. I'll tell you that right now. But it was fine, dude. It was okay. Like I just need to do stuff like this once in a while, and it's cool. Like we're fine. Like driving. Look, there's a nice. Next time you'll fly. It's just easier to fly probably. But we're already in Nashville, so it's only 7 hours. It's all good.
How long's the drive to get home?
It'll be 11, but we'll stop. We'll stop and stay at a hotel.
I drive that whole thing through, dude. Yeah, you just got to leave there and you got to find a way to get. That's the problem with you. You make your girl drive the whole way. You need to step up here, Cam, and take a couple of hours. I mean, maybe you drive the first leg.
I mean, I paid for it, so it's all good. It's her car. She could drive. I'll help out. But on the way back from Nashville, or the way down from Nashville, it's like, I don't know. I don't think she wants me driving. So I take care of her, dude. We're down here. We're doing our thing. It's all good. But the drive, she's going to drive. It's her car. If it's a Dodge, I'll drive,
You can't drive her car?
I mean, I can. She's comfortable driving her car. Let her do it. Although she drives fast as fuck. Oh, God. I got to be like, whoa, girl, slow down. Damn, woman.
If I told my wife, dude, you're driving the whole way, 11 hours, dude, she'd be like, what? What, you're making me drive?
Well,
I'm not driving.
She had yoga. She's probably tired.
She's at yoga right now, dude.
Yeah, she's probably tired. Of course. You got to drive.
I'd rather drive.
I know.
I don't like sitting in the passenger seat, dude.
Yeah.
I like to be in control of the car, man.
I get that, but I trust Kate. It's all good.
You
were driving one after 3 days and not sleeping? Like, come on.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Dude, I was exhausted, man. By the last night in Nashville, I was just, although that's I ended up staying out pretty late. I think I stayed out the latest on the last night with Brad May, dude, who looks like a soap opera star. Mm-hmm. People don't know who they're talking to. They're just like, wait, what's this guy all about?
What
people come up to him left and right to find out. Who are you?
It's like, what are you, man? He's got perfect gray hair. He looks good, dude. He's such a nice guy. Can I give another shout out?
Yeah.
I met Darcy Hordichuk.
Oh, he's the best, man.
I've met him before and I played against him and I fought him, but really hang out with him. God, he's cool. Just a good dude, smiles the whole time, fun, told stories. Just a great guy. We're going to get him on the podcast too, by the way. Entrepreneur, has his hands in so many different things. I remember hearing about him being a business guy when I was playing 09.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just has his hands in, because talk to Horty, he'll get you there. Talk to Horty, he can hook you up with that. And I'm like, oh, okay. But he's a good dude. He's not all business, hey, Cam, invest with this. No, he's just cool cat, man. I evaluate everybody, dude. You know that.
He's very cool.
I laugh, and that guy was cool, and he was down to earth. So I got to give him a shout out, man.
So listen, we're on the bus, and he and I are in this. We had maybe a 45-minute ride, whatever, 30-minute ride. We're in this long conversation, dude. He's sitting right in front of me. He's turned around facing me, and we're just talking. And all of a sudden, the bus driver hits this monster speed bump. I don't know what she was doing. Not paying attention. Everybody's head just hits the ceiling of the bus. We're just bouncing 10 feet off the seat. It was a very dangerous situation. In fact, I think I'm injured, Cam. I think I have a neck issue as a result of that speed bump. That there could be some legal action going on with my injury that I'm dealing with. And anyway, my coffee just completely explodes, Cam. Just flies everywhere, and it's just got all over Darcy Hordichuk, dude, in this black leather jacket that he had on. Dude. I felt terrible. It was all over. It was all over me. And the bus driver, to her credit, man, she felt so bad. She was helping me, get it all dried up in the back and whatever. But dude, it got all over Darcy. He could have gone ape shit. He could have gotten angry. He could have gotten mad. And for him to keep his cool in that situation says a lot about Darcy Hordichuk. So I apologize, Darcy. But dude, he got coffee. If this is McDonald's coffee, he's dealing with first degree burns right now.
Yeah, no, that was at the beginning of the trip to the Nashville's practice facility. Yeah, that woke us all up on our first game. Well, there's a little speed bump going about 40 miles an hour. That'll get you. That'll get you, especially with 15 dudes on that damn thing.
Oh, my God.
Bam! But bam! I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, there's coffee everywhere. Like, what the fuck just happened? So that woke you up a little bit. And he, kind of screwed his shoes up and shit.
Oh, my God. Dude, I didn't like the whole shoe check thing at dinner, by the way. I thought that was unnecessary. Like, I don't need people like, shoe checking me. Like that whole activity. I know it's, kids do it when they're on like hockey trips or maybe if you're playing in the, like, were guys doing this all the time when you're playing in the NHL at dinner? Like putting ketchup on like $800 shoes. Like, what is that all about?
No, in juniors we did that at like, that little what's that place called in Canada? It's like Little Italy or something that we always went to. Like, you do that, man. But Andy got we're out at Jeff Ruby's, this beautiful, god dang, awesome restaurant in Nashville. That's like the one thing where there's no swinging dicks in there. It's not college kids. It's like and we rented out this like nice room back there with like a little smoking area in the back. It was cool. And we're all chilling, like ordering everything, seafood towers, any drink you want, whatever you want, man. It's going to be expensive. The main man's going to take care of it. We won the championship. We're all hanging out, telling stories. We're all just half dead anyway, we didn't party. And all of a sudden, one of the younger guys in our group who's kind of like, like on the verge of maybe not making it next year or whatnot, kind of like Andy is. I'll have to talk with the head honchos and reorganize everything. But he decides to shoe check Andy. And like, I like when people make fun of Andy, kind of. I like doing it. And when other people do, I'm kind of like, it just depends on what it is. But if you shoe check somebody, Andy's got suede shoes on. Like, they're expensive. They're nice. And then some kid puts butter on it and we tap. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like, if somebody shoe checked me, I'm like, ain't that big of a deal. But it's just like, I'm not in the mood for it. Like, I set this thing up, but it wasn't me. It was Andy. And I still was kind of pissed about it. And I kind of called him out. I'm like, man, aren't we tired? Like, I don't like tricks, Andy. I don't like getting pranked. I don't like getting that kind of stuff. I know I sound like an old man, and I'm sorry, dudes, but I'm done with all that. I like to have fun. I'll party with you till the fucking sun comes up. We'll get after it, but don't prank me. Don't do it. I've been pranked enough and almost ruined my career with Lou Lamoriello and stuff like that. Like, I'm not into it. So, like, even like shoe checks now, man, I'm like 38 years old. Andy's 43. Like, don't shoe check my $400 shoes. Like, that, I'm just like done with that kind of stuff. Let's just party and have fun and chirp each other, but like be cool. I don't want to look at I don't want somebody stealing my wallet and keeping it all night and making me lose my mind or something, right?
Dude, I kept it together, but in respect of the main man who was like paying for this dinner and everybody having a good time, I wasn't about to like, create a scene or anything. But I'm talking to Brad May's asking me questions about like something hockey related, like analytics or something. And I'm like, what? And then I get shoe checked. So I thought he was in on it. Like, he was distracting me so nobody would know. But then he's like, later that night, he's like, dude, I had no idea he was doing that to you.
I know. Because Brad May's an awesome older guy that's just like, don't do that to me either. Now, he did tell a story about Jamal Mayers getting shoe checked by Tyler Bozak and losing his mind.
I could see that. So, dude, Tyler Bozak had just signed out of the University of Denver. They go to a dinner.
Yeah.
He's playing with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Brad May is there. Jamal Mayers is there. And Jamal Mayers gets shoe checked.
Oh, gosh.
And he starts losing his mind, Cam. Like, he wants to, like, kill somebody.
I know.
I've been around Jamal Mayers, countless hours in my lifetime. I've never heard this story. So Brad May's like, fuck, man, it was Tyler Bozak who did it. They basically had him do it. He's the young kid, just got there. They told him he's got to shoe check someone. I don't know if they told him to shoe check Jammer or what. So Jammer starts fucking going crazy. He's like ready to go across the table and fight somebody. So Brad May, because he knows Jamal Mayers is losing his fucking mind, and if he finds out that it's this young kid who just signed, he's going to try to kill Tyler Bozak. So he steps up and he eats it, Cam. kind of like what you should have done on the 2-0 when you peeled off and you didn't give, you weren't there for the pass.
You're
But
lying.
He eats it. He eats it. I mean, and he says, okay, I did it. Now Jammer wants to kill Tyler Bozak. Now, to this day, or kill Brad May. To this day, Brad May or Tyler Bozak, they've never told Jamal Mayers, who actually did it, and that it was Bozak and not Mayday. So it's like, and Jammer listens to the podcast, man, so he'll be hearing this for the first time, that it actually wasn't Mayday and it was Tyler Bozak, even though he wanted to kill, Mayday afterwards too. Could you not see Jamal losing his fucking mind, Cam, if this happened to him?
Listen, man. Tyler Bozak's an awesome dude, but at the beginning, I don't know how I'd react. Like, you're an older guy. It's like, don't shoot check me. But it's funny if the guys did once in a while, one time maybe you're like, okay, like, buy me new shoe, dude. Those are suede. You gotta now. I'm gonna torture you. Now you started a war with me, and I'm gonna win it because I'm a 15-year vet. Like, no, like I'll get you. But it's cool that Brad May didn't rat out Bozy and said, no, I did. And I think like Jammer's hardcore, man. Like, he demands respect, dude. Like, he's just that kind of, maybe a little too much at times, but like, he does demand respect. And I get that. Guy's been in the league a long time, fought his way, won a cup. And he gets fucking shoot checked by a young kid at dinner. When Jammer wears some nice stuff, man, and that he's probably got some 800 Gators on or something, and you get a little butter on that. Like, it doesn't come off.
Or ketchup.
It doesn't come off your shoe.
Cam, I got my shoes, dude. They're ruined. There's like butter all over them.
No, there's a permanent stain.
Yeah.
When you put grease on it like that, that's a permanent stain. So now you just like, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm becoming petty at an older age. I guess I am. But rightfully, doesn't that we all do? Like, I feel like I'm 60 years old when it comes to this kind of stuff. Now I'll get after it, and I'll entertain the guys, and I'll tell stories and like make them laugh every second. Like, I love doing that stuff, man. But like the gimmicky fucking put tape on my fucking hockey blades, or I go out there and rip my goddamn groin out, or you do this, I put up with that shit, dude. Or you put water in my shin pads and it spills on me. Like, what are we doing? Like, it doesn't happen that much. Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't like those games. Stealing phones, doing that. Fuck that, man. Everybody's married. Everybody's got shit going on. Everybody's got nice jobs. Like, you don't, and we're here. We're having fun. Don't stress me out, even for a little bit. It's just not worth it. Just not worth doing that. And I don't put up with it. It's all good.
Dude, you couldn't handle the spice that comes with the Nashville food, by the way. The hot chicken was getting to you, Cam. You're sweating.
Oh,
you're like,
God.
dude, I can't handle this spicy food.
Oh, Chaser, like, mix it up, please. I'm drinking so much. We're doing this. We're doing that. I'm trying to stay up. Like I can't eat any more spicy stuff. I'm snorting Prilosec because my fucking heartburn's so goddamn bad. Like, there's no water in us. Like, I just want a cheeseburger with no spice on it. I'm so dehydrated. Like, we're like coughing up dust. But it's all good, man. It was a good time. We're going to have another good time next year. I'm going to have to reevaluate the lineup, go from there, and then we'll sort things out, Andy.
Listen, I wouldn't mind putting one of those on one day. I mean,
Well,
I
you
could
got
put
a private
one on.
jet? You got a private jet?
No, I would do it here. I would do it here. I'd put one on. Like, invite teams to come play and like hang out and party for a weekend.
No, I know. Well, that's what the alumni do all the time. We have these tournaments all the time, Andy.
Not here. You do one a year, right? The fantasy camp, right?
Yeah, but there's a couple other ones that get invited to. We'll play against like McKendree. We'll probably play Lindenwood. We'll do stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just these things are cool, man. People who aren't really in the mix, for example, like if they didn't play or whatever. I mean, they absolutely love it. An opportunity to come down there and kind of like rub shoulders with a bunch of former players and have fun and party all weekend, man. It's an enjoyable experience for a lot of people.
Well, let me tell you this. Guys are like, well, what guys are down there? Do you have any Hall of Fame? Listen, it's not about having the biggest names. It's about having the guys that want to hang out with regular guys and shoot the shit and willing to tell stories for hours and just be a part of it like you're just a normal guy. Those are the best dudes that make everybody laugh, that want to entertain, that talk to everybody equally. Instead of, because like sometimes you bring a Hall of Famer down and they'll be like, hey, how you doing there, eh? But they'll only go talk to Chaser. Well, they'll only talk to that group of guys. They're not mingling with everybody. You have to have a good group of dudes that just mingle, even if they don't even know them. Like, you're just a social butterfly, but you still got a name. You know, they still remember you, but you're talking to everybody. That's the key, man. And they're willing to skate hard sometimes too, and like be competitive and chirp a little bit and stuff like that. Like, it's a good mix. You have to have a good mix of guys to entertain, you know. But it costs money. It costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to get in all the flights, bring in your equipment. You have to have trainers there. You have to have all kinds of medical teams. You have to schedule it perfectly. You have to adjust the ice, all the different rinks that you have to deal with. So it's a hassle for sure.
First Form hooked it up before we move on. I will give them a shout out because they sent a bunch of shit down for the boys.
Of course they did.
Bars, energy drinks, hydration sticks. I mean, they had everything. Shaker cups, dude. So I'll give First Form Nick and everybody over there at First Form a big shout out for sending that care package, dude. That could have fed freaking like the entire Bridgestone Arena.
And what did? And guys were hoarding some stuff, and I had to put my foot down.
Oh, did you?
How many you taking, boy?
How many you caught some people doing that?
Well, I'm like, I saw you skate, and you weren't even moving. How many dehydration? What? How much stuff you need? How many you need that? You know, all those protein sticks? Like, wait a minute. It's all good. It's pretty funny.
But, all right, listen, a couple hockey things I want to get into, Cam, real quick. Like, this James Reimer situation is just taking a life of its own, kind of like Ivan Provorov. I mean, you kind of saw that coming. This is why, like, you know, some teams, the New York Rangers, I think the Minnesota Wild, I think they kind of, and other teams too, by the way, I think have decided behind closed doors how they want to handle this. And in an effort to prevent kind of what we're seeing right now, which is, you know, a player obviously just getting slammed by a number of different media for his decision to not want to wear the Pride jersey in warm-up, even though we've already gone over this, that the players do, in fact, have the decision. It's their decision to make. It's just that a lot of people don't agree with that decision. And I don't know if James Reimer's paying the price for that or not, Cam, but he's definitely taking some heat, no doubt about it.
Yeah, of course he's going to take heat for that. And again, if I was in that situation, I'm not a religious guy by any stretch of imagination, although very spiritual, Andy. And if there's, you know, I believe in, you know, my own thing, I guess, but I respect everything. But like, I would do that just because I would, although I don't like people telling me what to wear or put on. Like, I'm like Kramer, and I said this before, like Kramer and Seinfeld. He ran the marathon. He raised money for stuff, and they're like, put the pin on. And he's like, no, I'm good. Put the pin on for cancer. But you disrespect that, or whatever the case. And he's like, no, I just don't want to wear it. Listen, these guys have their own mindset. Some of these Russian guys, man, like, grew up probably hardcore religious. Like, that's just the way they think. Like, it just doesn't bother me. Everybody else is doing it. You're still raising money. Everybody's like, yay, we do it. And there's probably guys that wear it that don't believe in it. They just don't want to get in trouble. But Reimer's like, no, man, this is my shit. Here's what I believe. I respect everybody. I heard he's a really nice guy. But isn't that the bottom line? Like, just be nice to everybody. If you don't want to wear it, so what? It doesn't mean that, like, you don't like people that are gay. It just means that this is what I'm doing. My religion, this is how I feel. Like, I don't get it. I'm not that way, but of course it blows up, Andy. Why do you think that is? Because it gets likes and clicks and stuff, and people want to hear about it, and people go and they overreact. Like, I can't believe he's a horrible person. Like, no, he's not. This is the way he is, man. He's taking a beating from it. It's going to happen again. But look at everybody else that did it. Look how many people that did do it. Why don't you focus on that? You're not going to get everybody to think the same way. It's all good.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes. And I agree with that. I mean, I don't think any player, I mean, the reality is they have the choice, Cam. So if you make the choice not to wear it, I don't think that you should be treated like you're just a terrible, horrible, bigoted person who, you know, hates people. And, like, not everybody's going to think the same way. Not everybody's going to believe the same things. I mean, it is what it is. So the reaction is a little much for me, especially from a couple different media people. Like, just, settle down a little bit. I mean, they're just taking it a little bit too far. Call James Reimer. Go do a story with him. Talk to him. Do an interview with him. My question is, Cam, and listen, I'm with you. If I was a player in that situation, yeah, listen, I'd wear the jersey. But like you said, there's a lot of players who are wearing the jersey probably because they feel pressured to wear the jersey, and they don't have the security that some, players may have who have played a long time, played hundreds of games in the league, and have made millions and millions of dollars. I mean, everybody's in a little bit of a different situation. I guarantee you there's players who wear the jersey who don't want to wear the jersey. So everybody who acts like they know what every individual believes and what they think, like, you really don't. Don't just assume because they wear the jersey that they love equality and inclusion and everything else that comes with that too. Just because they wear it, you can't assume. My question though, Cam, where's the PA? Where's the NHL PA in all of this? Like what is their purpose? Like, aren't they there to protect the players? Aren't they there in charge of the workplace?
Oh, they're scared of it too, Andy.
And so, but they just go silent. I mean, should players really feel pressure, Cam, to have to wear the jersey and feel like threatened with any type of pushback or blowback that they may receive if they don't wear? Like, where is the NHL Players Association in all of this? Because in my opinion, Cam, listen, these players are under contract to play hockey. They shouldn't be used as public billboards. That's not what they're there for. They shouldn't feel any type of pressure to do anything they don't want to do. Not just talking about wearing a pride jersey. I'm talking about anything. If there's anything a player doesn't want to do, they should never feel pressured into doing it.
Unless it's media or stuff like you have to talk after a game. Like there's certain things that they have to do, but I don't think this is in that category, right? Like again, it just doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother you. Like, I don't care. As long as you're nice, if you're a nice person, it's all that matters in life. It truly is. You want to boil it down and simplify. That's all that matters. But this kind of stuff, like, he's going to take a beating. Like, Provorov took a big-time beating. I mean, some guys are telling him to go back to Russia and fight your own war. Like, well, what if it was a Muslim guy? What if it was a guy from Central Africa who's Muslim, a war-torn country? He gets out and he's got this belief, and he's just like, I love everybody, but, I just don't want to, for my religion, I don't want to wear this. Like, are you going to tell him to go back? Like, it's like, fuck, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it really isn't.
Well, they didn't bargain for this at the CBA table that they have to wear the jersey or what. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, if they don't want to wear it, listen, there's a lot of guys that don't want to wear it, Cam, and that are probably like, fuck that. I'm not going to deal with that type of heat. I'm not putting myself out there. I don't want to deal with all of this that comes with it. So they'll wear it because of it. I just feel like treating a player who makes this decision when it is his choice as if he's, the worst human being on the face of the earth, the scum of the earth, just the most horrible, horrific human being that could ever possibly exist. I just think it's a little much, man, because that's all you're hearing right now. I mean, anybody who would like defend him for not wearing it or choosing not to wear it would never be heard because the opposition voice is so loud. So listen, do I say that he shouldn't wear? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. And I hope people understand that. Like, I would wear the jersey because I would wear it. And I think a number of players have that attitude, like, okay, I'll just wear the jersey because I don't want to deal with anything that comes with it. But there are some teams, man, and it's not just the Minnesota Wild, I believe, and the New York Rangers who have decided not to wear the pride jersey. There's a reason for it. And they don't want to put certain individuals on the team just on an island by themselves. They've made the decision collectively as a team how they're going to do it. And San Jose chose to do it differently, man. They're tweeting about all types of stuff there in San Jose. I mean, not just about pride jersey. They're getting into other stuff as well. So, listen, every organization is going to do their own thing, just like the Blues would do or any other team. They go about how they want to handle it, and this is what San Jose chose to do.
Yeah, and it is what it is. Move on. Just move on from it. Like, it doesn't mean it's really just not that big of a deal. It's not going to change anybody's life. I think it's blown out of proportion to a point where I think regular people or even gay people or whatever, it's like my close family who's gay. I have close cousins that are. Like if they saw that, they wouldn't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't care. Like who cares? Just don't be mean or rude or whatever. It's like in anything in life. But the writers, though, Andy, they're like, here I go.
Hey, I think a lot of gay and lesbian people, they just want to live their life in privacy, Cam, and just do their thing. They're not looking to be symbolized or feel like everybody has to do anything for them. They just want to live their life, man. And so, listen, again, I would wear the jersey. I'm not sitting here and saying that players should never wear the jersey, but I do also realize that, listen, some guys are going to choose not to because they have the right to choose not to. And if they make that choice, I think everybody just needs to chill the hell out a little bit and not go after that individual where they got to put a statement out and explain why they're choosing not to wear it. And then the statement isn't good enough. And everyone, just completely picks the statement apart to pieces and they're just shredding this guy, So who's supposed to be a pretty good guy, right? His teammates kind of said that.
I mean, that's listen, I don't go off of statements like this on how to judge people. I kind of do my own homework on it. And I talk to people that I know that know him. They're in the locker room that went on the ice with him and played with him and stuff. Like, how is he? How was he after a game when he played bad? How is he after a game when he played? Like, how is he different? Is he a good dude? Was he good to you? Is he good to young kids? They're like, dude, he's a good guy. I'm like, okay, I believe you. That's how I judge people. But you know what I mean?
Hey, listen,
it's hard, Andy. Like, it's just hard. But again, I don't understand the religious thing on it. I don't get it. But so what? I gotta respect it. I gotta respect it. Yeah, whatever you want to think. Just like anybody, a Muslim to Christian to this, they're all different in their way, and they have their own thought process. As long as you treat people nice, if you don't want to wear that, it's I'm not saying I don't. He just gave his thing, whatever. I'm just doing my own thing.
Hey, what do you think of what do you think Danny Brière is thinking right now when his side this guy he's been working his entire post-playing career to eventually get this opportunity to be a general manager. He's in a market like Philadelphia, which is super loud, as we know. And people will certainly have an opinion. And they've been one of the louder markets for years and years and years. That'll never change in Philadelphia. But you got his son on video throwing a wheelchair down the stairs, dude, right after he's named interim GM. How do you think this impacts Danny moving forward? And what do you think his reaction was?
Well, he's probably like, hey, boy, go get that switch. It's time for you to take your beating. No, man, I don't know. I'd be pissed at my son. That's goofy. And I heard he did a couple other things, too. I don't know the full extent of it. But, man, yeah, you don't, your daddy played. Maybe he feels entitled. Maybe he's just one of those kids. Maybe he's going to grow up. Maybe he's just not mature yet. But these all they all tack on together, and it's not just a kid. It just ties into Danny. He's in the spotlight there. Now he has people have automatic fuel to be able to denounce him, not because of anything he particular did with the Flyers, but just your son being involved in negativity. You're attached to it one way or the other. So if I'm Danny Brière, I'm fucking pissed. Just like a Patrick Mahomes, Andy, and his dipshit brother, and sometimes his wife who does stupid ass things. Calm them down. You need to sit them down. Now, how far does that go? I don't know, but you need to have a family meeting and figure this damn thing out. Because he seems like the nicest guy in the world, Andy. He just seems cool. We had him on for an hour and 15 minutes. He seemed like he's very much into everything, and he's played a long time. He's been through a lot. And now your son can't control himself. That's a problem.
You know what? Sometimes if you're a kid of a celebrity, or a son or daughter of an athlete, sometimes the athlete has to have the conversation with the family, Cam, and say, hey, listen, everything we have in our family, everything we own, every experience we've ever had, everything we get to do is because of my playing career, right? And every decision you make can completely 100% affect that. And all of this and everything you enjoy can be completely taken away with one decision that you make that impacts me. So understand everything you own and everything you have is because of my hockey playing career. So once you try to be an idiot. And people see that. Everything you have in this lifestyle that you've been living and this fortunate, way of life that you've been given that you really didn't earn on your own. It's been given to you. It'll all be taken away, Cam, just like that because of you. So,
listen.
You better pay attention to that, man. And I hope Danny Brière, I assume he's having that conversation. All y'all NHL players right now and former players and anybody who's listening, any celebrity, if you haven't already, you better have that conversation with your sons and daughters, even if you don't think you need to, because you just never know when that time's going to come. Every time a kid's about to make a decision, they need to stop and think, man, how's this going to impact my dad, my mom, whatever, and me moving forward,
Well, here's the problem, though. What you just said, you want to sit your family down, your kids, your wife, your this, your that, and say everything you have is because of me, whether that might be true or not. You say that to your family, like they're going to rebel against that. You know what I mean? Then they're going to try to do more stuff. Like maybe that's the problem from the beginning, is because they think that way. Like you need to pump your family up in ways. Like you can't. I get what you're saying, but it's like I don't know, man. It's a bizarre situation. I've seen guys, honestly, with kids though. You're just like, it's like Tony Soprano. Like I just heard a quote from him. He's like, everything you got, I bust my. Like you keep saying that to your kids, they're gonna like automatically rebel with that statement.
Why would they rebel? Because here's my thing, Cam, is he's just saying everything you have is. I'm talking like because of what the money that you've been able to make is because of his playing career, because of his job. So any decision you make can sacrifice all that. It can all go away just like that with one decision.
I know. I get your point on that. I just think it's not just that that's not. If he goes in and says that to his family verbatim, like I think there's another way you got to do it. You gotta get him motivated in his own thing. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you want to be? I'm going to cut you off. What do you want to be? It's not like you have to listen to everything I do because I own everything. No, it's more like, hey, what do you want? Don't just rely on me. That kid needs a purpose in life. Is Danny Brière just giving him everything? He got him into this, he got him into that. Like, he needs a fucking purpose. Kids with a purpose don't think about goofy fuck shit. Like, I'm going to throw this on. Now, I did my own stupid things. Don't get me wrong, dude. I don't want to be a hypocrite by any stretch of the imagination because I was crazy. I get that. But, like, I had a purpose. Like, I knew what I was doing. What does this kid want to do? That sometimes when you're big, Andy, man, and you're successful and you got everything, like, the kids don't. They just live off of their daddy. Like, everything's my daddy. I go to school. I'm Danny Brière's son. I'm this, I'm that. Like, what are you? You need to figure out your own fucking life and be your own somebody. You're not your daddy. You're you. I know. I'm getting deep, man, because I've seen this before. But it's like, fuck, man, that's a tough thing. Andy, if we get so big and we're gigantic and Ty is just like, I'm maybe, like, you'd be like, no, you're Ty. You're fucking cool. Look at you. You're Ty. So don't worry about me. You be your own thing. Am I making sense?
No, you're making sense, man. I'm just focusing more on like decisions you make, especially on social media and stuff like that. Anywhere in public, man, you're representing the family, dude. And so every decision you make impacts more people than just you. It can impact the entire family.
Of course. So he's a lost. He needs to find his own way, right? Like, Andy, you've seen this a billion times with guys, dude, and their kids, and they're just like, what am I? Like, it's always been your daddy or your mommy's son that's been, whatever it is. Like, and then you're just lost. You just feed off of them, like, everything. I got the credit card. I got this. Like, what are you? Figure out your own shit. I don't know.
I just don't listen. There's two things. I don't know how you could look at a wheelchair and just throw it down the steps to begin with. And that poor girl came out and made a statement, man. We hope that, she's able to,
she's all right. She'll be all right.
Do her thing and whatever, man.
Yeah. She'll be okay.
But like she was like, someone had to take her down the stairs to use the restroom. So, they throw her wheelchair down the steps for people who didn't see the story. And, but I will say this too, man, that is not Danny Brière's fault. Just like a kid, man, should not be responsible for decisions that their parents make. Like if the dad's a fucking asshole, like sometimes Cam, you hear stories about like, I'm not keeping that kid on the team. His dad's a jerk. Well, you can't always hold it against the kid. If the kid's a good kid, like he shouldn't be held responsible for the decisions that like his parents. And in this case, for Daniel Brière, man, like he's a good guy. That this should not impact, his opportunity or ability to be an NHL general manager here in Philadelphia. So
not in this case, but yeah, your kid could influence your fucking job. You damn right.
100%.
They could see that in a billion different ways, man. No doubt. Like your kid could, you're totally connected. Like in this particular situation, no, but it's on you. But if your kid's taking advantage of people doing this, like you're connected with them, But this was still somewhat petty. It's just like a college. Like I'm dumb. Like I played guys, man. They're such good dudes that did stupid things in college, like stuff that you'd be like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like, what the fuck did I do? And then they turn out to be like, honestly, Andy, the nicest kids in the world. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but you got to control your kids, dude. You got to. Hey, what I was going to say was, Andy.
Cam, the player's wife who like goes on social media and like starts like chirping teammates or players at other. That's when it's like when you got to put your foot down too, man.
Throw your broad. 100% on that. And Andy, you know what? If there's a kid and their mommy and daddy are obnoxious, he might be good. There might be a kid that's a little bit worse than him, and their mommy and daddy are cool, and they sit by the glass and they support, and they respect everybody. I'll take that goddamn kid because that mom and dad could totally affect the child. So don't do that. No. If I'm a coach, I don't want to deal with these obnoxious parents. I don't care if the kid's good or not, because the obnoxious parents are gonna
bring the team down.
Put the team down, Andy. They're gonna put the team down more than the kid's gonna put the team up being good. So anyway,
yeah, no, you're right about that. I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying, Cam, I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
there was like a little girl who plays hockey.
Yeah.
And I think the parents got like some type of domestic dispute at a hockey tournament. Fucking the dad ended up getting arrested.
Oh no.
It's so embarrassing. And there was talk about like the daughter was going to be kicked out of the program and like, and my feeling was don't hold it against her, man. Like, you can't kick. You can just tell the dad he can no longer come into the rink or whatever for the next year but don't kick the girl out of that. That little girl, man, it's not her fault, man. She just wants to play hockey.
I know. You're right. That's a good example but then you got to put your foot down. Like the parents can't be here, but then how are they going to get there? They're going to drop them. It's just tough. It's a tough thing. So, hey, this is a lesson to all parents. Don't be goddamn obnoxious because that could hinder your kid like you can't believe. Don't think that all these coaches aren't evaluating all you parents. Are you kidding? If I was coaching, I'd evaluate every single one of you just to know, because that could bring down. I've seen it firsthand, man, especially in the 90s when no one even knew. Oh, yeah, it could hinder you big time. And a kid that might not be that good, that has a good family, that's a good kid, even if he's not that good, could pump your team up, man. Like I'm telling you, it's a weird thing. So just so all you parents know, Andy, you know that firsthand.
Oh yeah. All right, listen. A couple other things I want to roll through before we get to Travis Green on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast. Love having Travis on here, man. Hopefully he gets another opportunity before too long. But the Jordan Binnington Marc-Andre Fleury fight, no, that never happened. And so we'll never know how that would have played out, man. I thought it was cool that Marc-Andre Fleury was actually wired and mic'd up, and you could hear what he was saying as he went down to the other end of the ice. But, Binnington, listen, man, he's been in the mix in a number of these different situations. He's frustrated. There's no doubt the season hasn't gone the way that he had hoped, man. And sometimes frustration boils over. So, he was going to get the match penalty. When you go over and use your blocker and punch somebody in the face, that was going to happen. Marc-Andre Fleury comes all the way down to the other end of the ice, and the linesmen just decide that they're not going to let him fight, So I look at the Binnington situation a couple different ways, Cam. People who complain about Binnington, it's like, this is kind of who he is. He's always been this way. He did this in the OHL. He did this in the American Hockey League. He's always in the mix, man. I don't look at him as like a Billy Smith or a Ron Hextall who, one of these guys that is just like psycho. and just becomes unglued all the time and just can't control themselves. I feel like everything he does is calculated. He knows he's doing it. He loves the attention when he's pumping up the crowd, he's waving his arms and all that. So it is what it is, and it's not going to stop until either he fights, and who knows how it goes. Maybe he gets his ass kicked and he gets embarrassed and he never does it again, or maybe he kicks the other guy's ass and gets glorified and then feels like maybe he doesn't need to do that anymore either. So it is what it is, but I just wish they would have let him fight so we could have found out where this thing would go.
Yeah, we don't want entertainment, Andy. You know that. Why have wildly entertainment? And, no one's going to get hurt in that situation for the most part. Yeah, they could trip. And you know what? Marc-Andre Fleury tripping and falling and hitting his head. Like, there's little things into it that I think the linesmen look at. But in that sense, like, I don't know how to look at it, man. I just know that when you let in 4 goals, you don't want to wave the crowd up a little bit when you still haven't fought anybody. If you go toe-to-toe with a guy, then wave the crowd. I'm just nitpicking here. It is what it is. You ask me about it, I'm going to let you know. Did he get hit that hard? No, but the guys in front of him are bad. But at that point in the game, I think they were okay. I don't know. It's a weird situation. He's losing his mind. It's a bizarre year. I'm surprised Craig Berube hasn't lost his mind yet, but I think he's kind of in that mode where he's just like, I get the situation. I got to keep my cool. We need to regroup. We got a couple guys that we picked up for nothing that are actually performing now. But in that particular situation, for the greater good of hockey and just highlights out the wazoo, there's a lot of things going on in college basketball. Like, hockey needs like something right now, to get some attention. Yeah, Canada, you're okay. But the U.S., there's a lot of upsets going on and shit. If you got a wild goalie fight, that would have been pretty damn cool. Still got attention. But I think Jordan Binnington's just kind of losing his mind a little bit. Rightfully so, although they are playing better as of late.
Yeah, but do you think they're playing better than like winning games and stuff? They need to stop winning, actually. You're winning too much now. Like, you got to stop winning if you're St. Louis so you can get that top 10 pick, man. You don't want to win yourself out of the top 10. But like, do you agree with me though? Like, Binnington doesn't come across to me like, like one of these like psycho crazy goalies who just loses their mind every time they get to. I feel like he's under control with it. Like, he knows what he's doing, and I think he kind of enjoys the attention that comes with it. And that's not a chirp at all. I think some people just kind of. They love it. They just like to be in the mix, man. Just because you're a goalie doesn't mean that you shouldn't be in the mix. And he likes to get himself in the mix on top of the fact that the team is losing and he's frustrated, But I don't think he's like a psychopath out there.
I don't think so either. He's actually a really good dude. And he'll make saves when he needs to make saves. And he's won a Stanley Cup. It's like, it's hard to like if he didn't win a Stanley Cup and prove himself through 4 rounds of just heartache, of just crazy up and down, like the most hardcore games. Like, if he didn't do that, like, I could see where the chirps are really getting at him. Now, I know it's been weird the last 4 or 5 years. It's all good. But, like, the guy, you're going through a regroup. And he's getting weird shots all the time. No one's clearing the front of the net. Has been bad pretty much all year long. He's just frustrated. It doesn't bother me. It just doesn't. If they were winning games and he's losing his mind, it'd bother me. If we're in the cup run and he wants to fight people, I'm like, no, don't get caught with one. But now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I want him to see that. I love that Marc-Andre Fleury, though. He's so cool. He's mic'd up the whole time. He's hilarious. He would have gone toe-to-toe. Like, he's the real deal, too. And I don't know, man. That was actually pretty cool. Just let him go. I know Quebec League wants fighting out, and that's fine. Listen, here's how I look at this whole fight.
Why is that fine? You're okay with that?
Here's how I look at it, Andy. No, I'm not like totally okay with it. Like, keep it in. If this was 2007, 8, 9, and all of a sudden they're like, "Ooh, we're going to cut fighting out," people would be like, "What?" They'd be like, "What? 4 heavies on each team. You got McIntyre, you got Bull, you got all these guys fighting. Kinger and I on a team. Like, if you cut it out then, everybody's like, whoa. But now I'm like, there's no fighting. It's not like I'm not watching the game. No, I don't even care about the fights. I know Braden Shin had a good fight the other day or last night, 2 nights ago would be when this posted. But he fought Ehlers. He knew he was going to kick his ass. That was kind of cool. But other than that, like, you're watching a game, then watch the game. You take the hits out, that's going to be a big deal. If this was back in 2008, you took fighting out, that'd be a big deal. Now I'm like, if it happens, it happens. Like, do I want it? No. but I think people still watch.
My question for the Quebec League, though, Cam, is like, what are they going to do? First off, before I say that, I don't think the Quebec League should be able to do whatever the hell they want to do. And I know the government gets involved and all that, but if you're playing under the CHL umbrella, everybody should have the same rules in the CHL. Same rules go for the Quebec League as the OHL and the WHL. Like, you shouldn't have one league be able to do what they want. What are you going to do when all of a sudden you get to the Memorial Cup? Like, well, they don't allow fighting, but now in the Memorial Cup, are you just going to disallow fighting when the other leagues do allow it? And I will say this, yeah. So, you know, who knows how that would play out. Now, I will say some players, former players, I've seen some like analysis, and like I agree with most of you about what they're saying. They don't think it's a good idea. They think this is bad. But when they say, hey, this is going to work against these players in the Quebec League because, you know, now they're going to turn pro and fighting's allowed and they're going to be behind the eight ball. But like college kids have never been able to fight. So like this has been good. I don't worry about that. But Cam, there are some kids who live in play minor hockey in a territory that is controlled by the Quebec League. And maybe that's their way of getting to the next level. Well, now they're not going to be able to do that. Those players who maybe aren't as skilled and aren't as gifted and maybe would find a spot on a roster in the Quebec League because of their toughness. Now those kids aren't going to be given an opportunity. I'd like to see those kids still be able to play junior hockey, and they should be able to go play for a WHL team or an OHL team or whatever. So you're kicking kids out now.
Andy, how many kids are playing on a team because they're fighting nowadays?
I'm not saying fighting.
No, because that's exactly what you just said. How many?
No, I said toughness.
You could still be tough. Go hit guys. Be tough that way. Just go hit. Hitting's everything. Learn your timing with your hits. Learn how to hit consistently. Learn how to hit properly so you're not getting dinged all the time. There's your toughness. That's the scariest thing going is hits.
Let me tell you this.
Coming up, like they're not, there's no heavies on these teams. Like it's just not, you got to be skilled and you got to be able to hit. That's the way it's going. Like no one's not watching the team now because of
I'm not saying there's heavies, but all I will say is I guarantee you, even to this day, in training camp, in the OHL or the WHL, there's players that made the roster because they fought in camp and they won a fight. They got the attention. They fought a couple times. They were willing to go out there and do that. They caught the attention of the GM and the coach, and that's what got them over the edge and earned them a spot on the team. I guarantee you that's still happening.
Okay, but now you're 15 years behind on that. Now you got to find a way to get their attention through something else. So it's not going to be through the fights. So find a way to be physical or tough or mean in a different way. And that's through forechecking and
Cam, I get that. You're not speaking anything like we all get that. All I'm saying is there's some kids that may have been able to make a team that won't make a team. So
yeah, that happened like 10 years ago too. That happened to a lot of guys. We all got weeded out. So it's going to happen again. I'm just telling you. I know you wanted a different answer from me, but I looked at it and I'm just like, it doesn't bother me. It's just going to happen anyway.
So you think it doesn't? Yeah. So where are we headed with this? You think it's just eventually? I mean, the reality is this, Cam. Based on where we are right now and where we're headed, it won't be long. Whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, I don't know how long it will be. Eventually, we're on a path. We're fighting. We'll be 100% gone. Gonzo, gone from hockey. It'll be completely gone.
Gone, Andy.
So anyway, the Quebec League, it is what it is, man. They don't have fighting. I'm not going to get too worked up on it either, but I will say it's only a matter of time, dude. We are years and not too long away before hockey is gone. So every time you see a fight like you saw with Nikolai Ehlers and Braden Shen, where he switched to his left, by the way. His brother's a lefty.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. So it was family game night here, and I was watching.
Oh, my God. What games are you playing? What are you playing?
Hey, all you out there, dudes, like we went from goddamn partying, like you can't believe Partyville, to like me going into a house with my in-laws and their family playing board games. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, Andy.
Hey, Cam. Overall, did you have fun in Nashville though?
Yeah,
overall,
I did. I did. I had a good time. I get a little stressed out, man. Like I get a little, I got to deal with a couple of little things here and there with getting organized and stuff like that and making sure everything's all right. I don't know. But I had a good time. The games were I loved. Like I just went chaser to change a couple things up. And I know he's not going to probably listen to me, but there's a couple things. So it's more, I know I get where you're coming from. Like when we played Mike Keene's team with Grimmer, Stu Grimson, Dennis Bonvie, we knew they weren't that good. So we just kind of half-assed it against them so that the guys don't get and we just were laughing and had fun. Like we could do that. But then when we play the hardcore team, let's make something out of it. Let's go. Let's bump around a little bit. We came all the way down there. I brought this fucking badass team down, all these St. Louis guys. Let's go. Let's get a little competitive, man, and we'll all party afterwards and be cool. So just a little couple things, but it's all good, man. No big deal.
Hey, real quick, I want to bounce through this too. Ryan Reynolds buying the Ottawa Senators. Listen, he just sold his mobile phone business to T-Mobile. And I think he's getting like $300 million for it. So obviously there's a reason why they're selling their company. And all signs point towards him being a part of the next ownership group of the Ottawa Senators. He wants to market the team. They want to get the team out of a terrible location where they are right now, get them a building downtown. So, whatever. It's there's a lot of excitement about Ryan Reynolds potentially becoming an NHL owner. So we'll have to get him on, Cam, and shoot the shit with him and really find out what he's all about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
well, he likes hockey, man. Any celebrity that likes hockey like that that's willing to throw the cash down to revamp an organization. Damn right, dude. Tip of the cap to you, partner. Let's go.
Hey, what do you think of the fights that take place? Like the NHL GMs are talking about this right now. When there's a big hit and then the reactionary fights. I feel like this has been going on way longer than people realize. Guys get rocked. It's not like forever and ever. Like a guy gets rocked and then the play just continues. Listen, we've seen guys stand up for their teammates for a long, long time. So,
I don't understand what the problem is. Listen, if you Jacob Trouba somebody and it's clean, and one of their guys comes at you and tries to throw you down, hey, dude, you shouldn't have done that there, eh? And they don't know how to throw punches, and they're just I'm just gonna grab you, and Trouba throws a bomb, and the guy just falls. Trouba's what do I care about that? You just got an extra penalty. I just laid fucking your best player out. You didn't even throw a punch on me. In fact, I caught you with an uppercut. Sit your bitch ass down. Now you have an extra penalty, and we're probably going to score on a power play, which is going to be me. So it's that's a problem. That's a problem for the other team. How about you tell your players to not do that? Just tap them on the shin pad and say, let's go. That's how you do it. Then you won't get a penalty. But you go grab the guy, and I'm going to throw you down. It does nothing. You just create a power play. So the guys that make the hits aren't I'm not going to make a hit. I'm not eating a punch. No one knows how to throw a punch anyway. They're just taking a penalty on me. So I double dipped against you.
Listen, if it's a big hit, I kind of get it. If it's not a big hit, then it looks stupid. But when Kuznetsov gets rocked the other day by Matt Dumba, all hell's going to break loose. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. And as a fan, if you're watching the game, I think you would find that you would enjoy that. During the course of the game, you see a big monster hit, and then you see the gloves are off and guys are going at it. It's when it's not a monster hit, it just feels a little bit forced. But on most occasions, I don't have a huge issue with it. I don't need to see it every time, but sometimes it might be justified.
Well, who's complaining? Where's the complaint?
A lot of people complain about that.
Well, who? Because if you're making the hit, you're getting up on the power play if they grab you. So it's beneficial to make hits. So are they complaining that no one wants to make a hit because they're going to get beat up? No. What are they complaining about? It stops play? Well, tell your fucking players if there's a big hit, then go and don't just jump them, square off with them. Then you won't get a penalty or whatever. Or you go hit somebody. Why you go initiate, and chirp and I'm going to get the next guy. Then there's a hitting fest. That's cool. But nothing's it slows the game down. It's still a fight. But no one's I'm not going to hit anybody because I'm afraid I'm going to get jumped. No, they're not. You're going to get a power play. No one's going to beat you up.
Unless you say something about their wife or something like that, Cam, which is Troy Stetcher did some stuff remember that happened? And
are you bringing your wife to every game? You're going to get that big of a fucking deal.
Who was that? Zegras? It was Zegras.
Zegras. That's actually called blooded, baby. That's not about your, passed away father. Don't get me wrong. That's like your wife's following you everywhere you go. Like, I'd get chirped too. I got chirped for bringing my broad down to Nashville for the last day. She just take me to Florida. It's the way it is.
I will say, not that she wouldn't have been welcome, but you didn't have her stay at the hotel, and you didn't bring her to the team dinner on the last night either, though. So,
well, I'm not bringing her to a team dinner with all guys. That doesn't work that way, Andy. Because if you would have brought your girl there, we'd all be like, what? No, you don't do that. Now, the last night, if that place was so jam-packed, I would have gone up there and hung out with you guys. It was too much. So we and Kate did our own thing. And so, but like, I'm not taking her to a team dinner where we have 15 guys and she's going to be the one girl and we're all telling stories. Are you crazy? Mm-hmm. Come on, think about it. Give your head a shake. I like to hang with the guys. There's the one time where we found an upstairs lookout bar outside on a balcony. No one was there yet. It was just the guys. We're just shooting the shit. A couple people showed up, but I don't care about other people. We're talking to each other. So it's like, well, this place is packed. It's cool. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, it's just all dudes. So it's like,
well, you got to understand, dude. You got single guys there who are in their 20s, and they want to do their thing, man. So I get it, but it's not
things everywhere, Andy. The best time to wheel, if you're in your game, you don't want to wheel when it's bumper to bumper. It's hard to wheel that way. It's better when you could actually have a conversation. It's easier when it's half packed and you could creep around and see what you're looking at and get to places and be able to talk and know, and they see you. That's how you do it. When it's bumper to bumper, it's hard to wheel unless you already have girls.
No, I get it, but at the same time, they want to be at the spot, dude. They want to be.
No, they were miserable. No, they were miserable. They're like, no, we need a different place. It's too crowded.
It was too crowded, man.
It was too crowded.
I don't like crowded. I like to chill and just, I like to be in more of a quiet setting where you can actually hear the person standing next to you.
What do you think I just said? I said that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying in my older age, man. But even when I was younger, I never enjoyed it, the crowded, like crazy spot.
I didn't even like the club scene, man. Like, it was cool if you have girls, and there's always girls who want to come up and give bottle service. Like, it's cool, but you can't hear them. Like, I like to, once you get out of there, like, I like to talk and chill. Like, I don't know. It's just too much. It's too much going on. But we could have ventured out and found, like, little places and stuff. But it's all good, man. I had a good time with all the guys. Like, dude, to be able to go on a trip like that every year, multiple trips, actually. I'm supposed to go to Winnipeg for Mike Keen's when I'm here in Florida.
Oh, well, that sounds fun.
I feel like I'm in Winnipeg, but
you're in Winnipeg right now.
I know. With my instead of Keener and all the boys up in Winnipeg, I'm in Winnipeg, Florida.
Could you go do that same thing you just did last week and do it again the next week?
Oh man, I've done it before, but it's hard. It's hard. You're because you got to entertain. Like, people spend money on you, man. Like, they took me out last time in Winnipeg. Oh God, all night long for 2 days, just two days, 2 nights, like all night long. And then I had to fly home and do a radio show at 6 o'clock. I was like, oh God.
I could do 2 days.
It was hard though. Skating, partying. Those Canadian boys up in Winnipeg, man. They fucking party.
JJ Watt, dude, he's like a huge hockey fan. He's like everywhere all of a sudden. He's the next athlete to retire to just be everywhere. Like, he will be everywhere. You're seeing him no matter where you turn, dude. You see JJ Watt right now. So now he grew up playing hockey though, but he says he didn't play. He played football because it was cheaper. I'm sure some people look at it that way. Hockey is expensive as shit, man. It is what it is.
Fucking right, it is. Big time expensive. Probably too expensive. I don't know how to fix that. You got to pay for ice. Ice is expensive. Air conditioning is expensive. Those rinks are expensive. The
refrigeration system's expensive.
I know. Of course. It is. Zamboni, all that stuff, man. It's like fucking a lot of stuff going on. Your equipment, your sticks, your skates, the time. It's crazy. It's very hard to get going on.
Let me tell people. starting your kid to play hockey is not expensive. In fact, it's very, very cheap in a lot of cities. Like there are programs out there. USA Hockey does programs across the country where they give you free equipment. A lot of NHL cities, including here in St. Louis, will have programs where you sign up, you get free equipment. Like it's like $100 or whatever. You get free equipment that comes with it, plus like 8 sessions and whatever. Like do one of those. And yeah, if your kid becomes good and he wants to stay involved, it can potentially become more expensive. But like for my son right now, and I know this may be expensive for a lot, I get it, but like he needs new skates. The top of the line skates at his age for his size foot is like $200. It's not, when they're young, dude, it's, skates don't start costing, $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever until they get a little older. You don't need to be spending $200 plus or over $100 on a stick when they're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years of age. So, there's ways to introduce your kid to it at a very reasonable price. And parents shouldn't be intimidated to think, well, I can't get my kid involved in hockey because it's too expensive. That's bullshit. They start playing AAA and they get older and become more competitive. Yeah, it can get pricey, but to learn to play and just get going, it's not expensive.
I get you. Good call on that, Andy. You're right. Unfortunately for me, I started at a young age or an older age, and I went right to AAA. We had like 1 year of house, and then I went right to travel. So my parents never got to experience the cheap part of hockey, but they didn't have to grind it out that long. We used to play roller hockey, I guess. But you're right, man. Like to get into it, it's okay. And the Blues do a lot of good things, Blues for kids and all that stuff. And look, you don't need the nicest shit. Sometimes give them a little bit. You want them to be protected, but like they don't need to have the best like Bauer like innovation stick. No, they need to fucking shoot with maybe a crappier stick that's not expensive and go bar down. If they figure it out, they'll figure it out. The better stick's not going to help them that much anyway at a young age. Who cares? Let them just figure it out.
I'm with you, man.
As long as they're protected.
Well, let's get to Travis Green. Cam, are you on Eastern time over there? Cam doesn't
man.
even know what time zone he's in, this guy.
Oh, not all Florida's on Eastern time, Andy. I'm right south of St. Louis, basically. I'm just a little bit east of St. Louis if you go directly south. I'm in 30A thing, which is northern part of fucking Florida, and it feels like I'm in Winnipeg.
What do you mean? Everybody's always like 30A. That's where everybody in St. Louis goes, dude.
No, because it's easy to get down to, Andy.
I know.
Nice, dude. The water is beautiful. There's no hill. It's not packed. Like it's nice. It is. Trust me, it's pretty nice.
Hey,
Annabelle,
I hear you. Listen, I got a question. These safaris that you see in Africa, where you go drive through it and there's no windows on the car, and they had a standoff with a lion who was in the middle of the road. Like, do they have weapons? Like, are they shooting? Do they have guns? And do these lions ever grab you out of this vehicle that has no windows and no doors?
I mean, it's happened before. I don't know if you're allowed to shoot them. They don't look like they have that much protection, but I think that I think they roll the dice a lot, I could be wrong on that. Did you find a clip somewhere, Andy, between all your hockey sessions and stuff that popped up? Yeah, I know once in a while you'll get attacked. The stupid thing is, it's more likely you get attacked by something like a buffalo in Yellowstone when you're a dumbass and you get out of your goddamn car like, I'm going to go take a picture with this thing, and then it gores you. That's what stupid people do. But in Africa, I think they know where to go. It's happened a couple times where cheetahs will jump on the top of the car. They'll sniff around. But if it happened frequently, they wouldn't go.
Well, dude, all it takes is a stalled engine, a flat tire. Like, you're fucked. You better have some. I may even have a gun in that situation, Cam.
Yeah, but you would protect everybody, Andy. What would you use? A water pistol? You'd have to kill the thing with like a 30-06, dude. A pistol ain't gonna do it.
Probably have my. Oh, really?
I don't know. You'd have to really get it good in the head, like 5. I don't know.
Really?
Put a big old man down, boy. You kidding me?
Wow. Are you kidding me? My box cutter wouldn't work?
Yeah, well, it took down a plane. Multiple.
Fuck, dude. We shouldn't even talk about that.
Well, you keep bringing up stupid box cutters.
Well, I'm telling you that I had. Dude, I
I
told you I have one, dude. I sleep next to it every single night.
Stop saying that. Tell
Why?
people and bazooka because
I
you got
have that.
kids. Like
I've got that. Oh, don't you worry. I got plenty of things around here.
You drive me nuts with this shit. Like protect your family, dude. Seriously. Like protect your family.
There was a lion that was stranded on top of a rock in like a river, and they got surrounded, dude, by like, no joke, Cam, I'll send you the video, 30 hippopotamuses, okay?
Oh, we'll get you.
And the hippopotamus, the mouth opens, dude. It's so freaking wide. It could have swallowed this lion that was on top of this rock. The lion slips off and somehow, some way outswims the hippopotamus. And as it's swimming away, a hippo comes from underneath the water, just storms right through it and misses the lion. And the lion was able to get away. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
Well, it happens every day.
30 of them.
It happens every day in the jungle, homeboy. And let me tell you something. Those hippos could swim like fucking like
Michael Phelps, dude.
Like, watch some of the clips where they'll be chasing boats, boy. They'll be chasing boats, and it looks like a submarine's coming at you, like, pop its head up like, and they go underneath like, and pop back up like, blah. Scary as hell.
Are you seeing any crazy wildlife, anything under the water there? I guess you're not in the ocean, dude. No. What are you going to do there now? It's too cold. Man,
I'm doing a podcast for 3 hours right now is what I'm doing, but it's going to be a little bit warmer today. I'll go cruise around. I'm just getting drunk and up the pool. God.
Do you have a pool at the house?
Yeah.
Well, let me see it.
Man, I go outside. I have a thing out of my house right here.
So, is it a community pool or is it just for your house?
What the fuck? A community pool? What do I look like?
Is it just for the house?
There's a pool. Right.
Nobody's in it. Who's in it?
Kate's daddy's right here. Hey, what's up? They're chilling.
It looks nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, do you have your own little? Are you sharing a bathroom with like her aunt or something?
You out of your goddamn mind? Are you out of your mind, Andy?
Dude,
and with that stuff, dude. I
All
don't.
right, let's get to Travis Green, dude. Who's looking to get another head coaching job? We didn't bring up the Spengler Cup. I didn't feel like it was that necessary to get into it. I don't know if our audience is that interested, but that didn't go very well in the Spengler Cup. But, I don't think teams are going to look at that and be like, oh, well, now we can't hire Travis Green. I hope this guy gets another opportunity. I feel like Vancouver is not the spot you want to go to if you want to, it's too volatile, man. It's like crazy. Like, I think Vancouver is the hardest market to play in the NHL. I think it's way worse than Toronto or Montreal.
It's up there. I think they're all brutal in their own ways, man. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's a tough way to get into the NHL as a coach.
But as I said to Rick Tocchet, man, I was like, well, why this job? He's like, well, I didn't get one last offseason. So, like, if somebody's going to offer you a job, there's only a handful of jobs that are available. They're going to pay you close to $3 million. Like, you just do it.
Yeah, no, I know. Although he had a good gig going.
Oh, great gig. I
kind of miss him on there. Like, it's just not the same. Like, he just settled everything down, put everybody in their place.
Yep.
Called it how it was. Didn't get caught up in any of the weird, like, hey, I aim for this. Like, I know. He's just like, I'm fucking Tox, dude. And I'm going to sit here in a corner and I'm going to fucking call you out if you guys are being dumb. And, I'm just going to be cool. He's been as cool as you can get. But now he's coaching. And like stressed out. Like, yeah.
Would you rather make $1 million a year doing television where you're doing one game a week, maybe two?
I know.
Or make 2.75 or whatever. I'm throwing that out there. He's making somewhere in the 2s, 2.5, 2.75, whatever. Or make 2.75 for 3 years or whatever as a head coach. And listen, some people can't get the coaching out of them. I understand they need the competition, they need the adrenaline, they need the day to day. They can get bored, man, sitting in a studio. It's not like fulfilling them from a hockey standpoint. I get all of that, but what would you rather do?
I'd rather keep my life simple and just be consistent and know I got a good job and I could. But you always want to have something too, like maybe start a podcast that I could do at my house or something. Like, you already got your name out there. He's made money before. He played in the NHL a long, long time. Like, I just want to be stress-free and have fun and love my teammates and my work partners and be funny with them and happy and go to dinner and just not be stressed and be with my family when I want to. And I don't know. I don't want to be stressed out, man. Like, there's a lot more things that we could do, but it just, like, I could put a camera in my face all day long and entertain people, Andy. I could. And put it on TikTok and do all that. But I don't, that's fucking stressful. Like, I'm going to say something stupid. Like, then my wife's like, yeah, I'm filming again. Like, I just want to do a couple, maybe like build this thing up, build a couple other things up and just be happy.
Somebody needs to hook us up. Listen, I threw this out there last week about a different player, and all of a sudden I had two different people reach out to me with his cell phone. So I need JJ Watt's cell phone. If anybody has his number, go ahead and reach out to me. There's got to be a buddy of his in Wisconsin who's listening.
Well,
who's friends with JJ. I need to talk to JJ.
I think the guys just had him. No, they had Howie Long's kid on. Chris Long, never mind.
Oh, yeah.
The guy said Chris Long on. But JJ's cool. Yeah, but okay. Like, I'd rather have, like, let's get Hasek on. We need to talk to him. We had a long conversation about Hasek in the locker room.
I think that conversation is still going on. Like, the story hasn't ended yet.
There's a big story about Hasek that we learned. My God almighty. But we need to get him on, dude.
I'd get his ass on. I should have asked Mayday for his name. He knows somebody that has it.
I know.
But anyway, Dominic, man, he's an interesting one. So is Travis Green. I want people to hear this interview. Let's get right to it. Brought to you by Hair Club Cam and hairclub.com. Are you taking your hat off? Are you getting your hair wet? Give us the update on how you're handling that here on this trip in Florida.
Yeah, I'm wearing a goddamn toque. Fucking, it's frigid. So no, I always have a hat on. Right, Cam, now.
You're in Hair Club territory right there, buddy.
Yeah, no doubt. No, that's Southern. That's Boca, dude. We're in the Arctic.
You're in Antarctica?
No, that's South.
North of Winnipeg?
We're in Greenland. We're in the Greenland part of Florida.
You didn't show me outside, dude. Somebody's swimming outside and it's sunny out. Like, what are you talking about?
No, but it's 58 degrees.
Is that pool heated?
Yeah, but it's all good, man. We're chilling. They're having a good time, Andy. They're just having a good time. Everybody's happy. We're cooking food and we're doing cool stuff. Kate and I will get out and do our own thing, but it's all good, man. I need to do this kind of stuff. Like, I can't just be like, I'm going to Nashville. I got to hang out with their family. Dude, they are so good to us. This is like so nice for them. You know what I mean? I can see the smile on their faces. Like, I'll play board games with the kids. Like, I'll do that stuff. I act like a hard ass and a princess, but sometimes you got to suck it up and do your thing and be enjoyable with the family. They love hanging out with me, man. So although I've been on this thing for like 5 hours with you.
Don't do anything to embarrass the brand out there. That's all I ask of you.
No one sees it. Do you worry about Nashville? We were fine then. That's what I worried about.
I was fine, dude. It's just a lot going on, man. I just, in Nashville. I had a good time, though. It was fun. I'm glad I went, put it that way. It was fun.
Well, good. Why don't you thank me and say, hey, Cam, thanks for inviting me.
I did. I thank the big guy, too, man.
Good. You should.
He's a very generous individual for what he did. Taking us all to dinner. That had to be a $5,000 dinner.
Oh, yeah. Maybe a little more than that.
So
yeah.
Very, very grateful for that, man. Flying us on his PJ, just very fortunate, dude, to know people like that, Cam. You should be thankful. Hair Club, dude. What do you tell people? Like, if they come up to you and said, hey, if someone said, what does Hair Club do? Like, how do you answer that?
Well, make you feel confident. It's all about confidence. They have a ton of different things you could choose from. So look up their website and figure it out. I went to Hans the other day, set up an appointment, talked to all their doctors and stuff. They just got a lot of good stuff going on. You want to regrow your hair. It's easy to do. There's so many different places you can go to throughout North America. And you got to do it quick. So you get on it quick. Nothing better than to look in the mirror and see your hair grow back. Good feeling. I'm telling you.
That's got to be the best feeling.
It is.
When you lose your hair and to see it come back, that's got to rejuvenate you. I can't think of another thing in life that would rejuvenate you even more and make you just feel good and be confident for that. So, again, Hair Club, hairclub.com, 800-279-7878. Call them today. Get that first consultation. Mention Cam Strick. You get a lot of money off, hundreds of dollars off your first consultation. Just by mentioning us, 800-279-7878, hairclub.com/Cam Strick, baby. First Form and firstform.com. Again, we were talking about First Form Nick, who sent a enormous care package down to us. I don't think we win that championship game without it, Cam. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with that. A lot of people were dehydrated and got hydrated pretty damn quick. And they were hungry, and they got their stomach a little bit full with some protein, 20 grams of protein with those beef sticks, a little energy with the energy drinks. Maybe some of the guys mix it with vodka. I don't know.
That's you're not advocating that.
I don't. No, I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying maybe it was party time down there. So I just wanted those guys to get a little bit of fuel in them. But maybe they threw a vodka in there. I don't know. It's all good. No big deal. But no, Nick's great about that. I did put Nick on the spot last podcast, how I said that he didn't write down all the food he ate going out to dinner.
Yes, he did.
I think I rattled him, man. And I don't want to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I was just joking. But it just shows that a guy like Nick, who's like a movie star, looks on the ball, he'll mess up too once in a while. So, like, not everybody's perfect. So if you do screw up and you forgot to write all your stuff down in your app with First Form, after you eat a weird weekend meal, where you're hanging out with your buddies, it's okay. Even First Form Nick screws up once in a while. Felt a little bad about it. He sent me everything that he jotted down. He might have been off a little bit. No big deal. But I'm just telling all y'all, he'll do it. So don't feel bad if you're off once in a while. It's right there. Jot it down. You'll feel great when you're done.
You trying to say Nick is human?
He's kind of human. He's like the Terminator. Where he'll bleed and stuff.
They're the best. He sent us everything he ate, man. He mixed in like octopus with like a bacon cheeseburger. But he's in the gym at 6 a.m. every single day, dude.
Yep. No, he'll make up for it, man. And again, like you can get to the point where you're that disciplined. You're not there yet. It's okay. You can just step by step. You don't have to go 0 to 100 miles an hour right off the bat. Like do it step by step. You miss a day, it's okay. Go back and just remember what you did. And just figure it out. You'll get your rhythm down.
My new favorite bar, though, by the way, is that peanut butter flavor, which I had never ordered before. I kept saying the cookie dough was my favorite. That peanut butter, I forgot the exact name for it. But the peanut butter bar that he sent down there to Nashville has become my favorite. I can't wait to order more of that. And everything else, man, I think people genuinely appreciated that. And First Form got a lot of attention down there, man. There's no doubt. So people walking around. Oh, yeah. People walking around with First Form, like shaker cups all over the rink and shit. So it was cool. So I'm glad they sent that, man. We appreciate that very much so. Check it out, firstform.com/Cam Strick. Only use our link. Do not go to this firstform.com or anywhere else. Firstform.com/Cam Strick. Use that link only, and they'll take care of you, man. They're great people. You get your own little life coach. My life has never felt more put together and with a purpose, organized, than since we first started working with First Form. It's been an incredible experience. You should jump on the First Form team as well. Do it today. Firstform.com/Cam Strick, baby. All right, the Spark Skate Sharpener, Cam. Ty had a tournament this past weekend. Played with a group of kids that he had never played before. It was fun for him, but I see kids sliding and falling everywhere. And I say to one of the dads, I'm like, what's wrong with the skates? Because he's like, he's falling everywhere. He's like, well, I haven't had them sharpened. I didn't have time to go get them sharpened. I'm like, get a Sparks. So he's asking me for all the information. Then he emails me yesterday. He's like, hey, can you send me that promo code? So now he's going to buy himself a Sparks, dude. I'm telling you. You want to simplify your life, Cam. You talk about that all the time. Is there a better way to do it in hockey than to have your own skate sharpener inside your house and be in control of your skate sharpening?
No, I want Seth to do it.
Oh,
I
God.
trust kids that stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning, drinking Mountain Dew, Code Red, eating bullshit all night on his computer, and then he goes there and he's smoking dope, and all of a sudden he takes that goddamn skate sharpener, fucks everything up, and then cross grinds your skates. He's like, I'm tired. And he gives them to you. You pay $8, and your kid's flying around all over the place, and he falls into the boards and cracks his AC joint because of stupid Seth. Don't let Seth ruin your gosh dang weekend.
Imagine if Seth wanted to take your daughter out, Cam.
Oh, God. He smells like cookies. You're like, what? He walks in, doesn't look at you in the eye.
No.
And your daughter's like a sweetheart. And you're like, what? And he's driving this piece of shit. And all of a sudden you're like, what? Like, look at me, son. Doesn't even look at you. You can tell his shirt's wrinkled and shit. No focus. He likes the speed. Oh, God.
Somebody sent me a message about Seth the other day. They get it. I mean, everyone knows him, dude.
He's taking your daughter out?
Ugh.
What job do you have? Well, I'm between jobs now. What?
No, he works at the rink, dude. He sharpens skates.
He works at the rink, and sometimes he gets fired. Sometimes he's done. Like, you don't even know where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Your daughter's like him. Like, what?
Yeah, can't trust him.
No.
And he's late to work anyway. He
No,
doesn't even show up on time. He's the worst employee.
He's a piece of shit, is what he is.
So get a Sparks and get it today. Sparks.com. They got a great Instagram page. And listen, their Facebook page, they have lots of questions and answers there. Their customer service is truly unbelievable. I mean that. Like, if you call them up and you have any questions, like, they're so patient and so nice. And I love that. So anyway, check that out. And use our promo code, by the way, which is going to save you more money than it'll save you on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So it'll save you tons of money when you use the promo code Cam Strick. So when you order your Sparks skate sharpener, make sure you use that promo code Cam Strick, and they will certainly take care of you. We love our partnership with Sparks and everything they do for us right here on the Cam Strick Podcast. So take advantage of it. Get a Sparks. Use that promo code Cam Strick. All right, Bellman.com, Cam. Listen, I'm about to do a little bit of a road trip as well, man. I could use one of those Denali's or something to travel in. It's like, there's great cars out there that just make travel so easy. Like, were you comfortable in your car, by the way, driving down to Florida?
I could have used, a Grand Wagoneer, but Kate's car's okay. It's not bad, but she's comfortable driving it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got things. It's all good, but there's some badass vehicles you can get. They got all kinds of options.
Hey, where's Bellman located?
Troy,
Missouri, baby. Get down there today. They have the best customer service. You talk about people you can trust. You can send your girl down there by herself. They're going to treat her right, Cam. At Bellman Automotive, you get no what?
No swinging dicks. Just look at some of these places in Florida right now. Oh, God.
Are they all over the place?
Go to Tootsie's at 8 o'clock at night tonight in Nashville. That's what swinging dicks looks like.
What do they look like?
Oh, like bumping into you, bragging about themselves, drunk, breath stinks, hitting on smelling your girl's hair and stuff. Get the fuck out of here. Night fuel.
The swinging dicks kind of have some. There's some similarities to Seth. Not all of it. They're a little more confident than Seth.
Like fucking smelling like fucking bullshit. Mountain Dew with vodka, like bumping into everybody, like talking to your girl with stank breath. Like, just rude.
The sales guys that come out.
I heard about your husband's a fucking joke. I'm the fucking man. I'll come here, you. Where'd you go? That kind of shit.
Yeah. You don't get that at Bellman, dude. Bellman's got the Buick GMC on one side of the street and Troy on the other side. You got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. And they got something for everybody. Cam's looking at that Jeep soft top, two-door small wheels. It's pink. It's got flames on the side. Nothing wrong with that. Listen, I'll go to Bellman, though, dude. Let us go there. They'll give you a sushi. You walk in there. Like, honestly, they'll just like give you a sushi before you go out there. You take your time. You can have a little bit of sushi before you go out there and check out the vehicles on the lot.
It's one thing like to joke about, but like sushi, like people are like, why would I want sushi at a car dealership? It's so dumb. It's just, it doesn't. I don't get the advertisement part of that like works.
It's very fresh.
It doesn't make sense. They're probably confused too. People about
well, they have it.
Cam,
you need to go eat some sushi while you're down there in Florida. Like find a good sushi spot on the water.
I told you I had those oysters the size of your head. I had a boner all day.
So check out Bellman. Get there today out in Troy, Missouri. I saw a number of people warming up prior to the game, Cam. You did compliment my hands. You told me I had good hands, and it's because I had the gel sticks. When you train with the gel sticks prior to the game, it just gives you that level of confidence, man, that you really can't find anywhere else. My stick felt like it weighed 1 pound, Cam. It was so light. The puck felt just smooth, man. It was like, dealing with like a golf ball out there. It felt great, and I got to give all the praise and glory, man, to gel sticks.
Yeah, man. You look pretty dang good, dude. You skated in the neutral zone, and the puck hit you on one time, and you kicked it to me. And the one time in front of the net, you shot it and went over the net, it flipped on you. But you look good, man. You look real good. Domination, actually.
Well, it's gel sticks.
I know. You look good.
Like, if gel sticks can do that for me, what can that do for anybody else, Cam?
Oh, shit. It can, though. And in all honesty, like, you could, it just seems like there's no puck out there. It feels like a golf ball. It's really nice.
Sometimes the puck just finds you, Cam. It happens with certain players. The puck finds you.
Looking for you. Like, no one was, like, guarding you,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, is that what it was?
Kind of. They didn't notice you're out there.
They were like, guys, we're 5-on-4 in this. That's how you approach it.
Yeah.
It's man on man, but you take 2 men. 2 of you take the same guy. Just leave him alone.
Yeah. And they did.
Yeah. I was a little worried about you, man. I need you to get back in shape.
No, I know. I was out of shape for sure.
But it'll all come back, Cam. I mean, I'm telling you, you can get it back, but you may have to start skating with the alumni like once a week or something.
Yeah, just on Wednesdays I got to do it.
Yeah.
You were
it
good.
Becomes harder. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Real good. Flying around.
I told you.
Your speed is what everybody was talking about.
I don't have any speed left.
Oh, no shit.
That's the hardest part.
You are the slowest human being I've ever seen in my life.
My God. You were just being nice, and now you're turning into mean Cam again.
Man.
You were nice for a minute.
I'm vacation. Like, it's 2 hours in. Like, I'm getting annoyed. And now you're chirping me about my fucking game again. Then you said that I was too annoying or too down on the beginning part. And I'm like, well, what do we do? You start chirping my game right off the bat, and I got to chirp you back. Like, I had to, like, honestly, get the guys to not chirp you.
That's not true.
It is true. It's all good.
It's not true.
But don't start with me. I was going to ignore it, but you started with...
Everybody was very complimentary, actually.
Oh, I bet.
Very complimentary.
It's all good. We had a good time, man. But Nashville, though, just...
Except I need you to be a little more... I need you to stay out a little later, though, Cam. Like, you would just, like, disappear. You would just be gone for the night. I'm like, where's Cam? He's gone.
Dunzo. Nothing happens that late. I don't want to see guys do shit. Let them just tell me in the morning. I can't...
How was your roommate? Was everything good there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like roommates that don't come home wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Just had him, just sleeps. He doesn't even go to the bathroom.
That's how clean he is?
How clean he is. There's nothing good at that. I don't even think he showered, but he doesn't sweat. He's just there.
Cam had you had like a 13-year-old as like a roommate.
He looks like he's 13. He's 30 years old.
He's like, I got 2 kids. But get your gel sticks and get your gel sticks today, Cam. Tell them we sent you. GELSTX.com. Gel sticks. The number one way to train and get your hands ready to go. All right. Let's get to Travis Green, man. Always appreciate when coaches come on, shoot the shit with us. This guy had a long playing career. And he played for a long, long time, played for a number of different teams. And obviously, a lot of people know him as the head coach of the Vancouver Canucks. You don't hear him do too many interviews, but he does one now. And he's with us on the Cam Strick Podcast. Enjoy. Hairclub.com, baby.
Oh, you're damn right.
Go to our landing page today, hairclub.com/Cam and Regrow, restore, and replace that hair.
Don't wait.
Now to the interview.
Greener.
What's up, Greener?
What up?
How you doing, man?
What's up, man?
Where you at?
I'm out in Orange County in Irvine, California.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Loveliness. What, you got a house there or what?
Yeah, I've been out here since when did I get traded here? Like '98, and just this was kind of became our off-season home.
You by the ocean, I assume.
Not like 15 minutes. I'm kind of in between. Well, you know where Newport Beach is. You just go straight up. I'm like the next city above Newport Beach.
Okay, good.
When you see these guys making some money in like Anaheim and stuff, and they have their places, and you're like, yeah, you got it pretty good, right?
It is a good place to live for sure, but it's some guys live right down on the beach and that. I'm up in suburban life up in I'm kind of in between the pond. If you towards San Diego, you just drive that way.
Yeah, okay.
Are they like, it's a thick accent? That's a thick accent.
You're hanging out. You're out there in California. So, what do you got going on right now, like hockey wise? Are you just watching games? Are you like taking a break?
Yeah.
Did you need to shut it off for a little bit? Like, where are you at mentally now?
You know what? I've been coaching, I guess, almost 15 years after I retired, and it's funny. You get fired, and you always hear about it. When you go through it, it's like, man, it kind of hits you hard. And as much as I miss it and I love coaching and I can't wait to get back into it, the break has probably been, one of the better things for me, to be honest. And, when you're in the pressure cooker for a long time or for a while and you're grinding as coaches do, it's given me a lot of time to do a lot of different things as far as myself, but also to become a better coach. And, I can look back now at my coaching career and my time in Vancouver, and I know I'll be a better coach the next time around, just because of the break I've had.
Yeah. Were you ready to coach to begin with? I mean, listen, you're coaching in the minors, like you're playing, then you're coaching in the minor, like things kind of like happened for you pretty quickly, Travis. Like you were like the hot name, and everyone knew that you were going to be coaching in the NHL before too long. Like you're having success in Portland, and then in the American League. Like, did it almost happen too quick, or were you ready for it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I spent so much time in the bank in the end. I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to play a long time in the league, so I knew that when I retired, I wanted to stay in hockey. And I love it. I love the game. I love the sport. It's what I wanted to do. And I really took some time to think about what do I want to do? When I turned 30, when I was playing, I think everyone kind of knows that once you hit that number, you're on the downs, you're on the back nine. And when I finally retired, I think I was 37. I wanted to coach or get into management and kind of do both and see where it took me. So I went to Portland. They gave me a great opportunity to do both, be assistant general manager, assistant coach. And I really fell in love with coaching. We had a good run there. I spent a long time in Portland, and there was a reason I went to junior was really to learn kind of the finer details within coaching. And I didn't want to rush it. I wanted to make sure I was ready I did it the right way, much like a player when he goes to the minors, I guess. And I had a real great teacher in Mike Johnson, who's a fantastic coach, a lifetime coach. I learned so much from him. And again, when I went to the American League for 4 years, you learn the pro side of it, and which really at the end of the day, guys, it doesn't change a whole lot when you're coaching 16 to 19-year-olds, then you're coaching 20 to 25-year-olds, 28, 7, 8-year-olds in the minors. Sometimes you get a few guys that are older, but they all love hockey and they all want to play. And I kind of adjusted from junior to the American League, and I hadn't been too far removed from the NHL that I don't think it was that big a step, but it was obviously a big step, and I felt like I was ready for it. And I look back at my time in Vancouver when we went into almost a full rebuild with the Sedin twins, on their way out the door. I was lucky enough to have them as players on my team as a rookie, and transitioning the team from the Sedin era into the next era. And it was, there's a lot of good memories from Vancouver.
You played a long time, and I've never coached, but it's stressful as hell. What's the difference between the stress when you're playing and the stress when you're coaching, or is there any difference?
Yeah, there's different. It's different, without a doubt. As a player, you have stress. You have stress on yourself, and you got to be good. You want to be good. You have to play well. As a coach, it's totally different. It's never about yourself, and it's always about how do I get the best out of these guys? How do I get the best out of my players? And then how do we beat the other team? So you're worrying about a lot more things as far as your mindset going into the game. And I'd say that's the biggest difference with playing. You got to worry about yourself and playing, and obviously the team. But in coaching, how you affect the game is so much different. How you affect players, really, and how do you get the best out of your players? How do you inspire your players? How do you make them or pull their best game out of each guy individually? And that's really, managing 23 different guys. You're on all the time. I know myself as a coach, it's a 24-hour job for me. My assistant coaches joke, they know to keep their phone off at night or on silent, because I'll wake up at 3 a.m. and just fire a text off to them about maybe a player or something that we need to do the next day. And that's really the fun part of it, is putting that thought into, getting the best out of my team, my players individually, but also how we want to play as a group as well.
You still have that mullet?
Oh,
no, that's long gone. That's long gone.
You got to bring that back, Travis. Bring back the mullet. Be like, I'm a changed man. This is the old school Travis Green coming back now with the old school mullet.
Now, the kids wear that now.
Hey, who got you into coaching? It's funny because some of your former teammates say, you know what, I don't know if I really saw him becoming a coach,
right,
while other ones say, no, absolutely, you're always like a student of the game, and they could easily see you coaching.
Well, I can see how it's funny. I've done a few presentations on coaching, and I've talked to different people about it. And when I hear people say, "Well, I didn't see him being a coach," I could see that too. As a younger player, my first, I don't know, 5 to 8 years as a pro, I didn't love the player. Like the coaching side of me wouldn't love the player side of me early in my career. And, later in my career, I think as a coach, I probably would have liked myself a lot better. But I'd like to think that I was a teammate that kept the room light, had a lot of fun, but was also there for my teammates and came to play. And, to play as long as I did, I never looked at myself as a great player. Always looked at myself as an average player, and I had to learn the league, really understand the game to stay in the league and survive and play, which I think probably has helped me in the coaching department as far as learning the game and understanding the game, understanding people, I guess, as well, which is a big part of coaching. And, you know, I look back and I would like to think I was a guy that hung out with all parts of, you know, whether you're a superstar or a guy just getting called up. I think I had a good understanding of kind of what makes people tick. And in today's coaching world, that's such a big thing is, you know, working with your players on a one-on-one basis to try to get the best out of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the key, right? Getting the best out of your players, like, because you can't coach them all the same. I'm sure some players just like drive you crazy too. You know, like how do you handle the ones that like drive you crazy, Travis? Because when you're a veteran player, you can probably handle that like in the dressing room maybe, but when you're a coach, like, I mean, you can't really pick your players, right? I mean, it is what it is. They give you the players, you know.
Exactly, and there are players that like, you know, whether it's their play or maybe just their demeanor, where, you know, they can drive you crazy, and that's the beautiful part about it. Really, is, you know, it's a team sport. You've got to gel all these players together, and again, I'm a real big believer in coaching is just that communication factor and talking to players, being honest, open. You know, even the players that maybe do drive you a little crazy once in a while, getting to know them and, you know, telling them, you know, certain situations, what you like about them, what you don't, how you can work on it together as a player-coach relationship, to both of you kind of see each other's path and side to things. So I think the day of, you know, the coach just having his way and being the boss, at the end of the day, a coach is the one that makes the call, but it's more of a partnership than it ever has been with the player and the coaches in today's world.
Growing up, man, like, how were you with your mom and dad? Did they love hockey? Like, were you a good player at a young age? Like, how'd you get into hockey?
I was a hockey nut. I fell in love with the game when I kind of started late. Grew up in Castlegar, British Columbia, small town. And we kind of lived on the outskirts of town. So I really didn't get into hockey. I think I started playing when I was 7 or 8, kind of late for hockey players, because my dad, my mom, you know, they weren't in hockey, but just grew to love it. You know, I would call myself a bit of a hockey nerd from the time I was a young kid. I took off rather quickly. You know, I was a pretty good player when I was younger. You know, story you've seen a lot of times, went off to play junior hockey and got drafted and, you know, fairly high, and felt like I was probably on top of the world. It was going to be an easy road to the NHL, but it never is. Like a lot of young guys that probably think they're better than they are, figure out. And I was lucky enough to figure it out in time to make the NHL.
Hey, so who was the guy though that said to you, "Hey, you should get into you should be a coach. You're going to be a great coach." Like, because who had the most influence on you, man? You played for some pretty good coaches too.
Yeah, I did. I was real lucky to play for a lot of good coaches, and you know, I remember having a conversation at the end of my career with Paul Maurice, who I was fortunate enough to have in Toronto. And it was just at our year-end meeting. I didn't have Paul for a long time when I went back to Toronto, and I think I'd only played 30 games that year for Toronto. But I remember, I think I was 37 at the time, and I give Paul a lot of credit. He really treated me well as an older guy in the team. Maybe I might have been the oldest guy at that time. I'm not sure, but at our year-end meeting, we had, you know, I talked about my future, what I felt like I was doing, and he was great. He helped me almost finalize my decision, where he said to me, you know, Greener, I've listened to you talk. I've been around in the room and hear you on the bench. I've only told I don't know, I probably shouldn't tell this, but I will. He said, I've only told 2 other guys this, that I think they should be a coach when they're done playing. And the other one, I know it was Roddy Brindamore, and I don't know who the other guy was. And, you know, that really resonated with me. And because I had been leaning that way already, ended up playing another half a year in Switzerland and probably could have gone back to play longer. But the opportunity in Portland came up, and I felt like it was too good of an opportunity to pass up just because of that I'd be able to learn under the guidance of Mike Johnson, who I had a lot of respect for as a coach, and just start that part of my life. So that, like, long story short, Mo helped me make that decision. But I had a lot of great coaches that I learned under. Al Arbor, you know, I started with him, and can't say enough good things. And I can go on and on. Butch Goring had a lot of influence on me because I had him in junior and I had him in the minor leagues. So, you know, I was fortunate and blessed to play. Some might say you're not fortunate to get moved around and play in a lot of different teams, but looking back now, it probably helped me in the coaching department because I got to play under some different coaches and also be around different players, different teams.
Yeah. Butch Goring, by the way, he's hilarious on like the Islanders broadcast. He's like so old school.
He is old school.
It's funny listening
he
to him.
had that dirty helmet.
Hey, you go to Portland though. Like, did Mike Johnston, like, did he get a raw deal? Like, what was going on there? Because he gets like suspended or whatever. And you all of a sudden take over, and you had a great run the rest of the way. But he was given like illegal benefits or whatever to players, but it wasn't cash. Like, what could he have been doing? Like, did he get a raw deal?
You know, it's something that that has never really. I haven't talked about it publicly. The league hasn't accepted the punishment. I do believe that Mike did get a raw deal. The league made their decision, and obviously we had to stand by it. And you know, I give Portland a lot of credit because there's an organization back in the time. We had a great run there for a while. They treat their young players extremely well. And when I say well, I mean they take care of them. They want them to do well. They do the right things. And when you send your teenage son away to play junior hockey, you're putting a lot of trust and faith in that organization to do the right thing and to take care of your son, not just as a hockey player, but as a person. And that's maybe the best thing I can say about Mike Johnson is he cares about people. He wants them to do well, and he does the right things for them.
Yeah, apparently he was like buying airline tickets or something like that for families. I mean, come on now.
Come on now.
Yeah.
You know, hey, listen, you know, and by the way, a buddy of mine is now the owner of the Portland Winterhawks, you know, so it's kind of a small world, man. He's a St. Louis guy who's now living out in Arizona who owns the Portland Winterhawks.
Oh, wow.
So.
Yeah, and they rave about him, too.
Do they? They should.
Yeah,
he's cool.
They do.
Yeah.
Like Mike really speaks highly of the new owner there.
So, hey, explain to me, because Ty Ratty's a guy who came into St. Louis. Like, he crushed it in Portland.
Juniors,
you had Seth Jones, man. But you had a couple other players that the year Ty Ratty had well over 100 points. You had a couple other players with over 100, but like the three of them combined, I think, played like 400 games in the NHL. Like, how come guys can like just completely dominate and put up well over 100 points in the Western League, and then they can't play in the National Hockey League? Can't figure it out. Like, people can't understand that, you know?
Yeah, I know, and you see that a lot. And you know, I think it's a testament to it. It's not necessarily a negative point to the player that doesn't make it, so much as it's a testament to how good the NHL is. Mm-hmm. And I remember people, you know, even in my own situation, you know, Greener, you're a grinder in the NHL. I can't believe you scored 60, 70 goals a year in junior, 50 to 60 goals. Like people don't get that the guys on the third and fourth line in the NHL, a lot of them were really, really good players in junior. Mm-hmm. Like they scored a lot of goals. They dominated, and then they got to the NHL and, you know, they figured out how to play the game and how to actually just make the league. And you know, Ty was one of those players that, man, he could score. He could play in junior. And he wasn't the biggest guy and maybe not the fastest. Mm-hmm. And could that translate to the next level? And could he be that scorer at the next level? Or was he capable of, playing on a third, fourth line in the NHL and killing penalties, for example? And, it's not just high. You see that a lot. That's kind of what separates a lot of players that get drafted really high, making it or not making it. Because it's hard to be an elite top 6 forward in the NHL. There's only so many jobs like that, and there's a lot of good hockey players. So, but then there's a guy that gets drafted in the 6th, 7th round, big body, willing to do whatever it takes to win, willing to block a shot, willing to, drop his mitts if he needs to, or make a big hit, take a hit. And, that guy finds a way to scratch and claw and make it in the NHL. And, Cam, you'd know what I'm talking about. Like, you'd scratch and claw to do anything for your team to win and pay a price. And that's, the NHL is a hard league. It's a good league, but it's hard. It's physical. It's not just about skill, even though the league is very skilled. It's still a physical, hard game, and that plays into winning in the NHL as well.
Yeah, everybody does the right things in the NHL, I feel like. And you're right, man. Like, it's weird. Like, in juniors, I remember playing against guys when I was younger, and, like, they would get drafted in the first round, and they get, like, $1 million. They get like $1 million salary, and then they chirp everybody like, I'm standing on my wallet. I'm standing on my wallet. Like, that was one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they get this money, and then they didn't do shit afterwards. They put up 100 points or whatever, so it's tough, man. Like, it's a big step one way or the other. But I look at your numbers. You played, 970 games in the show. Were you like, damn, man, let me get to that 1,000 mark? Like really? I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, were you thinking that way?
But I wasn't obsessed with it. You kind of know you're going to be close. And even after my last year in Toronto, I trained all summer to still play. I still loved the game. I wanted to keep playing. And I didn't get a job. And that's when I went over and played half a year in Switzerland, just because I had trained all year. I'd been waiting to get a chance to play again. And it didn't happen. And I was like, man, I'm in shape. So I went and played half a year over there. And for me, that was a great way to retire.
Yeah.
And the Swiss team wanted to bring me back. And I was like, you know what? I've had a good run. My dad was giving me shit still, saying, well, why are you going to retire? I was like, it's been a good run, Dad. It's time for me to hang him up.
It's tough playing.
I know.
It wears on.
But I was talking to a player around the trade deadline who was hoping to get moved. He didn't get moved, but he's like 120 games shy, man. And he even said, I just want to get to 1,000 games. So, man, that's a number everybody shoots for. Hey, listen, man, you played in Toronto, you coached in Vancouver, and like I've asked like different people this. Like, which is the harder media market? Because I feel like some people might be surprised to hear that, like, Vancouver may be the more difficult market to either play or coach in. I just feel like it's really toxic there, man. Like, describe what goes down in Vancouver.
Yeah, well, that's part of the, the pressures of coaching, playing in the NHL, in Canada, really, quite honestly. I think when you coach and manage in a Canadian city, it's a little bit different than the NHL or than some NHL cities, and that plays into the pressure a little bit. I'd be lying if I said it didn't. You're under scrutiny. You're after games. There's a lot more media. Accessibility or more people involved in it, and that's part of it. And now, would I say if one's better or worse out of Toronto or Vancouver? I don't know. I never really tried to look at it as far as bad or good. For me, I think it's a good thing. It always is a good thing. It's people that love hockey. When you get a chance to play in the Canadian market, you really get to understand how big of a sport it is in Canada. And, that's what you want. That's what players want. That's what the league wants. You want people to love watching you play and really love the sport as much as we do. And if people didn't love it that much, then there wouldn't be this media scrutiny. And I just think that's part of the business, and that's part of really the love of the game. And so, you got to take the good with the bad. If you want people to love the game, sometimes there's going to be people that question it, and that's all part of the business.
So say you're in Vancouver, things aren't going that great. It's
right.
You got a couple days off, and the wife wants to go out for dinner. Are you like, okay, we'll go to dinner, but it might be a hassle because guys might come up to you? Like, is that the case? Are you guys just like, no, let's go, let's pick out a restaurant, we'll go there, we'll sit in the back, no one's going to bother us? Or do you really have to think about it? Like, I don't want to have to deal with this shit. Yeah, no, you think about
things like that. Yeah, no, that's part of it. And I remember playing in Toronto, and you'd go to dinner, and people would, recognize you. And I was just an average player on the team, and there'd be star players on the team that I know they wouldn't go out and eat a lot of nights because of that. And it's probably more so now with social media. But when things aren't going well and you're playing and you're coaching in a Canadian city, you're going to think twice about where you're going to go to eat. But I know over the course of 4.5 years in Vancouver, you kind of learn where to go and where, little spots that they know you and they take care of you. And again, I never to look at it like it's a bad thing, I think is the wrong way to look at it.
I get that.
I think, we've been lucky. People are lucky to play and work in an industry where it's a sport that they love. And that's all part of it. We're very fortunate to be able to be in that position and for someone to say, hey, you're going to get recognized, or someone's going to come up and talk to you about the team. I've never had someone come up and be mean, though. People might come up and want to say hi and talk about the team and how's it going, or question things about the team, and that's just being passionate about it. But it was never where someone was, being a jerk or wrecking your day, or it was just them showing their passion.
Yeah, when Andy has a bad podcast, I'm telling you, he can't go anywhere in St. Louis. They're all over him.
Hey,
then he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know
a good
exactly.
thing, Andy.
Hey, you know what's got to be the worst for a coach is, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but when the GM or the owner publicly say, well, we expect to make the playoffs. We're a playoff team.
Oh, God.
We are going to make the playoffs. And, the coach is like, are you going to get me some different players? What do you mean we're going to make the playoffs?
Right.
That's got to be – and that because that was going down, right, in Vancouver. It was just the expectation, the bar was set. Do you feel like you did the best with what you had, or you guys maybe left something on the table?
When I went into the organization, I think it was we knew where we were at as a team. The Twins were retiring. We were transitioning some very young players into prominent roles in our group, and looking to the future. And I look at how everything, the trajectory of our club, to the point where we made small increases until we got to a point where we're a win away from going to the semifinals, which really no one thought we'd ever be in that position. I think our group really progressed the way we wanted. And, I think things kind of turned around with when COVID hit, and without getting into details, that was a hard year for a lot of people, and our group didn't do very well. And the team still rewarded me with a 2-year contract, and things didn't go the way we wanted the year that I was fired. And that's part of hockey, is there's change sometimes. But when I look back at Vancouver, back to your question, went in knowing where we were at, and I think the organization knew where we were at with it being the Twins last year, and you know, we knew where we were and how we had to get there, and I really thought we were on that trajectory, and I think that's so important. Going back to what you just said, where the owner, the GM, and the coach, when they're all on the same page and know where their team is at and what the expectations should be, that's when things probably run their smoothest. Mm-hmm. And when you've seen it in situations where a certain part of that equation thinks that the team is either better or a lot worse, then it gets harder to manage. And, you know, I think that's vital for every organization to improve, is being honest with where their team is at and being on the same page in that plan.
I remember the Blues playing you guys in the bubble, man. You guys looked unbelievable.
Oh my God.
And St. Louis, man, they were not in the right mindset to be there. Like they had the best record in the West, I think, at the time of the pause. And they're coming off the Stanley Cup win. Like, you just wonder what would have happened if COVID didn't come, you know. Mm-hmm. But you guys looked unbelievable. Awesome. But Bo Horvat looked like he was, I mean, just shot out of a cannon in some of those games, and a young, you know, Hughes and everything you guys had going on.
Yeah.
Did you and Jim Benning, you guys get along? Like, I mean, he's an interest. Okay, yeah. So the relationship was there with him. Okay, good.
Yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, no, I had a good relationship with Jim. I had a good relationship with the ownership as well. And you know, it's just sometimes there's change.
Yeah. Well, before we move on away from Vancouver, but like when you're watching from afar and you see like what was going on like this year, like what a train wreck. With the whole Bruce, the situation was so bizarre, man. Like, I'm like, what is happening? Like, he's behind the bench. Like,
we had Bruce on too.
Oh yeah, but that was before he ever went to Vancouver, and like they're chanting his name. Then Taka comes, and they're still chanting his name, and like there's Jim Rutherford's changing the coach. Like, it was like what a complete mess. Weird. Like, are you and Taka, like you know him pretty well? Like, what advice would you give to Taka? I'm sure you guys talked before he took that job.
Yeah, Talk and I are great friends. We have been for a long time. I played with Talk in Arizona, and he's a good man. He's a good coach, and you know, we haven't talked for probably a couple of weeks. I know how busy it is when you're in Vancouver, but you know, I'm not going to comment on what happened as far as, you know, the Bruce and everything. You never like to see anyone get fired or let go, and especially when it becomes public like that. I'm sure it was, you know, it was hard on him, and I know Talk's going to go in there and he's going to help that team. I think he's a real good coach. He's cares about his players, and I think he's going to help Vancouver.
We'll comment on it, Travis. You don't have to comment on it.
It's all
good. we go ahead and we comment.
We see what we see, man.
But listen, but you know how it is, because I remember like in Talk, it was great when he came on here. But I remember even like asking other head coaches and texting with Talk a little bit, but being like, why would he take that job with everything going on? But hey, there's only so many jobs available, right? I mean, if you want to
coach, man, you got to do it.
You know, when somebody's like calling you up and offering you a job, you got to take it. So I get it. Hey, I want a couple of those guys though. Horvat, the Pattersons, the Hughes, like coaching those young guys. I mean, did you enjoy that part of it? I mean, because there's so much ability.
No, for me, that's when I took the job in Vancouver. I knew a big part of it. You know, it wasn't just going to be coaching in the NHL. It's really developing players. And that's such a crucial part of winning in today's NHL, is making sure that young players become players that you can win with, and not just, you know, young, good players. And, you know, I had the pleasure of coaching a lot of those guys and really enjoying that part of it with them. You know, I look at Elias Pettersson and the player that he's become. And I remember when he first came over the first year and people saying that, you know, this guy can't play center. He's a winger. and just watching him flourish and grow into that guy that, you know, you guys remember in the bubble that year in playoff hockey, how good he was, not just Horvat, but him as well. And, you watch a kid like Quinn Hughes. And I think that when you talk about these young players, it's giving them rope to use the skills that they have, but also giving them feedback and dialogue and teaching them that certain parts of the game that maybe don't come as natural. And how do you do that with each player differently? Because they are different and they're not made up the same. And that's that challenging part and enjoyable part of coaching. It's much like with your children how you raise them or how you get them to understand certain things that they need to. It's not the same with each child that you have either. If you have more than one kid,
you're like, Quinn, let me show you how to skate real quick. Yeah. And Petters, I'm going to show you how to one time the puck.
Right.
Elias, get over here.
Yeah.
Hey, your training camps. What's the deal with your training camp? Everyone's kind of like legendary training camps. Like, are you really like?
Are you getting the boys?
Are you like Torts? Like, are you old school with your training camp? Like,
it gets. I think just because of probably being in Canada, it again with the media the way it is in Canada, it probably got a little blown out of proportion. I don't think that all of a sudden there was lots of talk about how hard my training camps are. They're not. I don't look at it that way, to be honest. We do a couple tests that if you train during the summer, the tests are, they're like any test. They're a little bit hard, but I think that our training camps are very fair, actually. And come in good shape, be ready to go, and it won't be that hard. And that was our expectation. I think it got a little blown out of proportion because we probably had a couple players that probably didn't show up in good enough shape, and that's how the media works in Canada, or it can. But they weren't easy.
They're throwing up on the ice.
Greener, who gives a shit? Fucking bag them, dude. No, it's business.
It wasn't crazy. It's not crazy. I don't think the coach should go over the line so players get hurt. But my expectations are, if you want to be the best player you can be and you want our team to win, our mandate is to come in shape and be ready to go. And training camp was never served as a punishment. It was served to get ready to be ready for game one of the season.
Yeah.
And we want guys that love playing all the time, but love being the best that they can be. And that's our mandate as a coach and a staff and an organization was, hey, come in shape.
So they didn't come.
That's not hard.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, of all the years I played, like, not too many guys came in out of shape, like legitimately out of shape.
We never. We barely. We've had guys over the years there. Man, our group was in great shape. I was proud of that, and part of it maybe was because of the couple tests we did. You do it once, now all of a sudden the guys know what's expected and they're ready for it. And but when you talk about the Sedins and the legacy they left, part of that was their conditioning and how great shape they were, and they loved it. Like, they loved our training camp. You ask guys that have like that, they were like, man, that's fine. That was awesome.
What would you do? Like the beep test or something?
What's the
you know what? It really wasn't that hard. It was we do this test. It's called the 40s, and it's down back through the red line, and you got to be under 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And you do it 4 times. Like it that's what I mean by over. It maybe got overplayed a little bit. We'd have some hard practices, but we never skated at the end of practice. So, I run a real fast up-tempo practice that tires you out? Yeah, I do. But I look at it like
I like that, dude.
It's just, yeah.
I don't want to go to the board every 2 seconds during practice. I want to skate.
Well, we never go to the board. We don't skate at the end of practice either. Like, I don't do lines. The practice serves as a the conditioning part of getting in shape was done in practice, and that was it. And that was it in a nutshell.
And so the writers in the stands were like, "Oh my God,
he's throwing up!
How dare he? I don't like this. I'm going to write an article about it."
We had a young player that kind of laid on the ice a little bit, and
get up.
It got overplayed a little bit.
Get up!
Cut his ass, Travis. You cut him right there.
Hey, of all the you played so long, man, and he coached, like, who? Like, give me a leader or like a guy that was just an awesome teammate that maybe no one really talks about? Just a good teammate, did everything right. Like who is that guy?
God, you put me on the spot.
I know.
I mean, come on, Cam.
Sorry, Andy. I didn't go to school for this shit.
I'd almost need to do some home.
It's all good.
It feels like you play so long and you play with so many players. It's like there's always a couple guys on every team that they have that element in them.
Yeah.
And the better your team is, probably the stronger that element is within that group. And I think teams that win ultimate championships, they have guys that like that people don't necessarily know on the outside, that are so driven and great teammates and will do whatever they can to help the group. They really it doesn't go unnoticed in the locker room. And, that's part of the great parts of our game, is that camaraderie and that care within the locker room. And really loving, as a coach, I love talking about players that love playing hockey. Even after they get, they've been in the league 5, 7, 8 years, they still just love coming in, and they have that energy even on days when you're tired. And I think, we've been around those players where they're kind of just buzzing all the time and
happy.
Yeah. And happy, full of energy, and it's just not happy. And like, they can go on the ice and all of a sudden they're in it, like they're competing, they're bringing energy in practice. And maybe it's one of those tough days and they're leading the way and making their team better and by their compete or their passion for the game. And you got to have guys like that on your group, because the season's long and the season's hard at times. And it's not easy to win in the NHL, and you just don't need a bunch of skilled guys around your team either. You need guys that compete and pull the chain in that department to get those other guys involved some days.
It's always funny because your training camps are too hard, and then Bruce's weren't hard enough. It's like we got to find that middle ground.
Yeah,
hey, now come on, Travis. What Zygmunt Palffy scores and you guys kiss afterwards? Like, did you kiss?
No.
Was that on the lips?
I gotta look at this.
Was this spontaneous?
I'm looking this up now, Greener. Oh boy.
Yeah. You guys are all prepared.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good, man.
No,
you gave me 2 months to prepare. Travis, you gave me 2 months to prepare.
I should have given you 10 minutes.
Shit.
Yeah. It's I get asked about that a lot, obviously, over my career and every now and then. And, it's something that still surprises me when I watch it. And you can imagine, and I love how it looks, where it looks like we're lining up for the kiss as well. So I was quick after the game, though, to make sure that I made it sure that he was the one that kissed me. So
yeah.
Hey man,
he kissed me. I don't know. I was just standing there.
Mates. Hey, what about your rookie year? I think it was your rookie season when Pierre Turgeon gets hit in the playoffs by Dale Hunter.
Great guy, Turgie.
Yeah,
we had Turgeon on. Should be in the Hall of Fame, I think. Probably. I mean, I don't know.
1,400 points?
I think he's got the most points of anybody not in the Hall of Fame. So I don't know if he belongs in there or not. I don't know. But were you guys like, what the fuck? What is going on right now? That completely ruined your guys' playoffs, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It definitely, when you lose a guy like Turge, who was such a good player, and to see him, out and hurt, did it hurt us? Man, did it ever. And obviously there was a suspension to it all, and it was a major part of our season. And, it sucked that it happened for our group.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah. We're trying to get Dale on, too, by the way. He's kind of a I know. He coached against me, and he's a good dude. But he's kind of ducking us a little bit. It's all good. Can I apologize to him, Andy, real quick?
Yeah.
Can I apologize to you, Greener? You were playing for Boston.
Yeah.
And I think it was Ken Danico's jersey night. I know, back in 2007. Man, I caught you in a weird way. I was back checking, and you dumped the puck in, man. And I kind of blindsided you.
That's dirty.
No, Andy, that's why I'm apologizing. And I just want to apologize for that, man, because I caught you
what,
high,
Dan?
and it would have been 15
remember, to be
fucking
honest.
games.
He doesn't even remember it.
I know.
It probably wasn't even you. Listen, he has no
it was.
memory.
He's 39. No, he's playing for Boston. I remember vividly. I should have got 15 games for it, and I'm sorry about that, man. Just that's all. No big deal.
Yeah, no, that's good. I love it. I mean, I wish I could go back and apologize to a lot of things that I did too, but you're getting a chance to. But it's amazing when you think about your career and playing and how many little dirty things you did.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you're like, you know what? Guys are just playing and just competing and trying to do whatever it takes to win, and that's all part of it. Like, that's the great part of the sport too, is you can have plays like that, and then all of a sudden you get traded and you're sitting next to the guy in the room and you're battling with him to win, and that's that respect part within the game that I love as well.
That's right. So if Dan Cloutier tries to start throwing bombs,
he's tough though, Greener.
Was he? He was.
Yeah,
He was probably one of the 3 or 4 toughest guy on the team.
We're good buddies, Klutz and I now.
Are you?
And I look back at that and we laugh occasionally because someone will bring it up around us, and it's Klutz was tough.
He was.
And I remember I gave it to him years later about using his blocker on me.
Oh,
that hurts.
That's gotta hurt, man.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, let me ask you. I don't like to ask you about other team situations because you're not there. But I want to put a scenario into your brain here. So John Cooper benched his best players for an entire period.
Yeah. Great guy.
Right.
Would you ever do that? You think that's a good move or that's a risky move?
Yeah. Again, you don't know the situation, but I think that. I think that's a message with coaching that, any player can be benched at any time. And I'm sure his players, they didn't like it at the time, but Coops has gone through the wars with those guys. He's won cups with them. I'm sure that player-coach relationship is at a stage where, they can get through those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the success that they have, because of the respect I'm sure they have for Coops, and Coops has obviously for his players, something like that, it probably gets a little overblown in the media, probably isn't a huge deal within the group. And every now and then, a coach sends a message, and, he decided that was the message that he had to send. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. Again, but that's having, and you know what? That's just having open dialogue within your group as well. And if you don't have that type of dialogue or communication or two-way respect, I guess you want to call it, then maybe that turns out a different way. And, I think each coach manages certain situations differently. And how they do it probably allows a situation like that to either explode or become an issue or not, or a learning or a factor for their team, a learning moment, teaching moment for their group.
Yeah, and I also think, too, that they've been in this situation a lot where you got 20 games left, you're in the playoffs one way or the other, and now you got to, think of things to keep these guys motivated.
For sure.
These last 20 games are just don't get hurt, but you got to stay competitive, so sometimes you got to kick them in the ass a little bit to grind.
Oh, that's part of coaching. It's not all butterflies and rainbows. It's, you've got to how do you get the best out of players? And ultimately that determines your wins and losses, is getting the best out of the guy that's on the fourth line or getting the best out of the guy that's on the first line. And sometimes you got to do different things, especially when you've been with a group for as long as he has. He can't do the same thing all the time. And again, we're talking one period. So I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
They'll be okay.
Well, it's a big deal only because of who it is, right? You just don't see Braden Point and stand close to these guys.
No.
So that's why, and it's the Tampa Bay Lightning and whatever, So, and then they lost the next game, right?
Yeah, they got killed.
They got killed. So they lost 6. Yeah. So that's where you're like,
call.
Whoa, that's, maybe that was a risky move. Hey, listen, you played with some great players. I got to get this out because you played with so many great players.
Yeah.
Solani in Korea too, man. Like playing in Anaheim when they're putting up all the points. I'm sure Paul is like doing his workout routine before the game, stretching, like
being healthy.
Like of all the guys, I mean, you play with Sundin, Big Walt, Roenick, like a young Jumbo in Boston. Like, who stands out? Like when you look back on it and be like, man,
they all do in different ways, and that's an easy question to say or answer for me to say. Is they all stand out, but they really do. You're talking about, all those players are future. If they're not in the Hall of Fame, they should be or will be. And it's funny, they all went about their business a little bit different. Like you talked about Paul and his focus and his routine. And within the same group, you talk about Teemu, who was the exact opposite. Or you talk about Walt, or you talk about any of those guys. I look at Jumbo, Joe, when I was younger, and I talk to Joe still today, and seeing how he matured as a player over his career, from a young guy to the end. I think playing with those type of players over my career and different ones has really helped me today. And I give a lot of those guys credit to when you talk about managing star players in the league, because they're all different and they all react different. A guy like Walt would have reacted different to certain conversations than a guy like Matt Sundin. And yet they're both ultra competitive guys and both want to win and both superstars in the league. And I look at it and say, okay, how would you have coached this guy or that guy? And it'd have to be different.
Do you think a coach,
Walt?
Do you think a coach should have played in the NHL? Like, you think that's important?
I don't. It's obvious that it's not the end all be all for sure. I think
because I'd like to coach, Travis.
Andy, sit down.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
But I know for me personally, it's obvious. That has shaped me into the coach I am today. Is playing, and I know that I can sit and think about what the player is going through. Even a player that's struggling, what he's going through in his mind and how he could be feeling, and I use that in my coaching. Yet you've seen before, there's lots of guys that haven't played in the NHL that have been great coaches. So for me, it helps. And I think ultimately it would be a benefit, but it's obviously not a necessity by any means.
Okay. So you mentioned at the beginning of the interview, just a couple more questions for you, man. We'll let you go. I know you got to travel and all that, and we appreciate your time. Like getting fired, and I've talked to Quenville about this years ago. I mean, there's so many different coaches, man, who have gotten fired. You're not the first one, as you know.
Right.
Like, how long does it take to get over it? Like, what's it like the 48 hours after you get fired? Like, and where are you at now? Like, you're like mentally, like you ready to go? Like you're looking for that next chance now? Like, or where are you at now?
You know what? I think in my situation, there's the build up, and when you're coaching, that you're under fire, it could be coming, the media's, and then once it happens, you kind of, okay, what do I do next? It's probably, there's that first couple days, then there's the next couple of weeks where you kind of get your life going, where you go back to where you live, and then for me, I really use that time to just kind of step away. I knew the second I was fired that I couldn't wait to get my next job. And I've always been kind of a planner. Within a week, I knew I wanted to self-evaluate myself. How can I be better? But I also knew that I needed time to kind of get everything out of me from, so I was in a good place where I could be honest with my assessment. And I really took some time to do that, like months, just to wind down and try not to think about hockey, even though it's a huge part of my life, and not constantly watch it every night. And I got through that, and I was able to kind of just sit back and say, okay, where could I have been better? Where can I be better at? What was I really good at? Where did I get away from anything? And I reached out to people that maybe knew me within the coaching and even over time, guys that I've coached and their agents. and then I really took some time to watch the game again and evaluate that part of it. To answer your question, it's, am I hungry to get back to coaching? 100%. I miss it. I love it. It's, when it's been a big part of your life for so long, you can't wait to get back. And that's where I'm at now.
Yeah, man. And even trying to watch hockey, like it's a big commitment to keep in touch and stay up to pace with everything that's going on. So but when you love it, when you love doing what you're doing and you love something, it never, I've said that to people. If coaching feels like a job to you, you can't do it because it's just, you're not going to be, it's going to be too long. You're not going to be good enough to do it if you don't really love it, because it's more of a what you are than what you're doing, I think. I get you on that. Sometimes Andy quizzes me on hockey stuff, and I'm like, damn, I didn't watch it the night before, and I look like a jackass. That's all. That's all.
If you had to win one game, man, and you got all these guys, you coach the Sedins, you play with Roenick and Walt.
Here it comes.
Korea, Solani. You need one twosome in the one game. Who are you going with? Travis, come on now.
Who are you going with?
Oh, man. I honestly, I could give you an answer today, and that answer would be different tomorrow.
What's your answer today?
What's it today, though?
I don't know. Like, you talk about the Twins and how good they were and how together, and you're talking about pairs. I mean, that makes it easier.
Sure.
Because you've only played with so many pairs.
But they're like the same person.
Yeah. Then you talk about Walt and JR. You talk about Teemu and Paul. When I talk about Mats or Jumbo, those are different. I had the pleasure of playing Mats, and the other guy was McGillney on that team. That was, my God, he might have been the best individually skilled player that I've been on the ice with.
Wow,
it was something to watch him just play and practice on a daily level of how good of a hockey player this guy was. It was a pleasure to watch him play hockey.
He was a nice dude.
Cam says he was on his line in Jersey.
Hey, Greener, I was on his line for like 3 months because
he was excited. He was excited, huh?
He was so happy. Him and Victor Kaza. Greener, he was so nice to me. He dumbed down his game. That's how good he is. He dumbed down his game just to fit in with my style. And he actually talked to me after the games and stuff like that. And he was
he was a good
genuine.
Man. And he would appreciate, like, he appreciated guys that played hard and competed, and no, he did. Like, it was. I know,
such a sweetheart of a guy, man.
Yeah,
but he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy about it. I'll tell you that. He wasn't happy.
Well, he liked scoring.
Elmo
liked to score goals.
Well, 3 months. That's terrible coaching. Whoever was coaching.
Okay, it might have been 2 months. It might have been. It felt like an eternity. For
all right. So what's on the agenda for you now? So are you just like kicking back? Are you golfing a lot? Like what do you have going on?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to stay busy. Like I said, I'm doing a little golfing. I'm watching a lot of hockey. My son plays junior hockey, so I'm trying to watch him. And I'd like to think that I'm kind of feeling good about myself, really good, and excited about what I'm going to do next. And you never like to see people lose their jobs in our business, but that's part of it. And I'm just living life right now.
Where's your son playing?
He plays up in the Alberta Junior League.
Oh, there you
go. So they're just starting playoffs, and going to go up and watch a little bit of his playoffs. Yeah.
Well, we're headed out to Nashville if you want to meet us out there for the Predators fantasy camp.
We're in a little fantasy camp.
Nice.
I get invited to all these. I invited Andy to come out this time.
I'm sure Hal Gill will be out there.
Oh, Gillsy will be out there.
Yeah.
Chaser, Stu Grimson, all those.
Oh, awesome.
Mike Keane.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what?
Keener.
I played with all those guys. I played with Stu. I played with Chaser a little bit in training camps when I was on the island. And then got to know him.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't mention Chaser then as the best player you ever played with.
Yeah, the best player ever. Did Chaser yell at you in practice for not giving him the one-timer?
Yeah, Chaser. I was a young guy in training camp, so he was You could only imagine.
Oh, he feast on that.
Oh, he's all over
Yeah.
you.
So
Hey, Greener, man, we appreciate you coming on.
You're gonna
You're
get
the man.
that. You're gonna get that next job too,
Yeah.
man. It's only a matter of time.
Sweet
So
is.
look forward to seeing you back behind the bench
Awesome,
too, man.
guys.
So
You're the man, dude.
Yeah. Great. Awesome being on with you guys.
okay, thanks for doing this.
See you, big dog.
The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the winter.
All right, that was Travis Green joining us here on the Cam Strick Podcast, brought to you by Hair Club Cam. What stands out to you from that conversation? Give us like your top 3 tidbits, and give it to us like in length and everything. I want a full-on recap of that conversation.
The one thing that sticks out is like I don't want to coach in Vancouver. You know,
Hell no. I hope everyone in Vancouver just treat our boy Talk the right way, man. Please.
Like, I feel for the fans. They need to win a Stanley Cup. Like they do. Like I feel for the fans. Like maybe they're hardcore. Who gives a shit? They should be. You know how expensive it is to fucking even deal with Vancouver, to go to a game? These guys are probably grinding it and like, fuck, man. You gotta like get us something. I feel for them. But you know.
I know.
I do. Like I don't, these fan bases that are annoying, why do you think they're annoying? Because their damn team has been annoying. Toronto, Vancouver, Edmonton. Like, God, annoying as hell. Like, no wonder we're pissed. Get going. You got to find a way to win. And they just haven't, man.
But Bruce, there it is. I talked to him about that. It was kind of like, he's kind of like, he can't say much right now because he's still getting paid by Vancouver. But what an exhausting experience for this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I know. That's why it's just like I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, you're coaching, but it's tough. It is tough. He made some good money. He's all right. He's doing all right now. Sometimes you just got to be in the spotlight and you can make money afterwards, right? Like maybe you'll go suck it up for 3 years in Vancouver. You get all this attention. Maybe you play it kind of cool for the circumstance as it is, and then you get a job afterwards and something where you can kick your feet up and just be funny and I don't know, something like that.
He told me that the day he got fired, he called the NHL Network and NHL Network radio and said, "When can I come on?" Like he wanted to go on right away.
Of course, you got to stay in the spotlight. You know, his character was high, right? Like with everybody, like people were pumping his tires up. You might as well get back in the game a little bit, monetize your popularity, and he kind of did.
We'll see what happens with Travis, man. He's tight with a lot of people too. Great playing career. What do you remember? He didn't remember your story, by the way. You told him a story. He had no idea what you're talking about.
He kind of pissed me off on that because usually when I do that with a guest, they're like, "Yeah, camera. I remember that." Like, I fucking nailed him, Andy, one time so bad. It was a back check hit. It's on all my little my fight videos on YouTube. He was playing for the Bruins, and he dumped it in like blah, 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 and I fucking put him down like blop. And then it kind of started something, and I remember he was out. Like, you don't remember that? I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I just was apologizing for it. Like, no big deal.
Are you sure that was him?
Yeah, dude, 39. He was 39. I'm like, damn. It was a back check hit that I got away with. But then they started calling those hits. It was right after the lockout, and so you were able to do that still. And I caught him. He dumped the puck in, changed it, bam, and I caught him. I don't know. Ain't that big of a deal. But
I will give a shout out to Nashville, how far they've come with hockey and stuff, man. They've got some beautiful facilities there. Like kids can like grow up playing hockey there. Like real hockey, like be a hockey player out of Nashville.
Yeah, you're right.
You got all these former players out there. Everyone's moving out there. Ryan Getzlaf lives there now.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of dudes. By the way, you brought up Nikolai Ehlers when he fought Braden Shen, and Shen he changed to his left, Cam. He started using left. I don't know if you saw that. Sometimes fighters, Cam, will like punch with their right and then they switch to
No.
their left.
What
Have
do
you
they
seen
do?
that?
What do they do?
They switch.
Oh yeah, I never heard of it. No, he did.
Well,
And listen. Look, when you
can I tell you? I want to tell you though about Nikolai Ehlers real quick.
Yeah,
Because that's who he fought. Because I'll give the referee credit because Ehlers did something to Shen, and Shen just like buckled him along the wall, and Ehlers like kind of folded like an accordion, like just folded and the referee was right there. He didn't call it. Then Ehlers went after him, which I'll give him credit for in the neutral zone before they fought. But I'm looking, Nikolai Ehlers, not an overly big guy, but this guy's competitive, man, and I got a lot of respect for him. Like, I'm looking at his fight card. This guy fights every year. I don't think he's ever had more than 2 fights in a year, but like that's only Braden Shen's second fight this season. It's not like guys are fighting left and right. And he's fought like Corey Perry. He's fought Ryan Getzlaff. He fought Brad Marchand. Like, I mean, he fights guys that are competitive players. Like, he's in the mix, dude. Like, I'll give him credit for doing that. Then he goes and fights Braden Shen. Even though he's lost.
No, I like that too, man. I do. But it's nice to see, like, you could tell on Shinner's face when you get a guy like that that's committed to a fight with you. It's like, that it's like a guaranteed win, and it's just like kind of like, hey, no offense to him. I like the way that kid plays. He plays hard, and he knew he had to do it. But it's funny how you look at Shinner, his face, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get you. And it's just a good feeling when that happens, Andy. Mm-hmm. It's like somebody on the ice grabbing you during that fantasy camp. Like, they just know they're going to get you.
Well, guys were trying to get me to fight off the draw to get the boys going before the last day. That was a big topic of conversation.
Hey, it's funny, though. Andy, all you guys out there, like, I love Darcy Hordichuk. God, was he tough when he came on the scene. There was one when we're out there, and Andy's lined up. And Horty looks like Horty. And Andy's right next to him, and I'm taking a draw. And I look over, I go, give him a fucking go, Andy. I go, give him a goddamn go, boy. And Andy kind of like bumps Horty, and Horty looks at him. It just was the funniest. It was so funny, man. Like, I don't know. Horty's not going to do anything, but it just was the funniest goddamn thing. Just the way you sized up next to him.
Oh, my God.
We're all calling you out. I don't know. God, we should have just, like, filmed.
My shoulder pads.
His shoulder pads had, like kind of like pointy things next to his. He looks so
creases.
I know. Like, it just looks so goofy. So it's all good, man. It was funny.
That was funny. Give him a go.
Yeah, I can go, Andy. And he's like, oh, okay. Hi, Horty. Horty's like, what? What are you gonna do?
I kind of got a firsthand feel of like what the tough guys and the fighters feel like, Cam, because
a little bit like
because the night before everyone was like, dude, you gotta fight off the draw. It'd be hilarious. Like, just grab the guy, and they were offering me like $5,000 or something like that to fight. Yeah. They were gonna pay me. It's like a $5,000 reward to fight off the draw, to be like the first, like to get the boys going. Like, everyone was looking for like a little juice to get us going. Like, you got to do it. So then all day long, people are telling me that. Then the next morning, it's like, hey, are you ready for this? You gonna go? And like the GM's talking about it, the coach is talking about it. And that's when I start getting a little nervous, Cam. I'm like, oh my God, now the pressure's on. Like, so I know what it feels like to be a tough guy.
You do. You really do, Andy. You are a tough guy now just because of the feeling that you got. No, sometimes you're like, damn, maybe I do have to do something. I know.
Yes.
It was hilarious, man. That was cool. Totally cool.
I wanted to impact the team, dude. I wanted to contribute.
Well, you didn't.
Okay, so what's the plan the rest of the trip before I let you go?
Man, I don't know.
Like, what are you doing? Like, family activities?
And we got the beach here. Like, Kate and I are gonna go. I want to go find a nice seafood boil. I'm gonna eat myself to sleep. And then we're just chilling, dude. We're just chilling. This nice big.
Hey, I need you to bring me back something. You mind? Can you bring me back like a present, dude?
I don't have anything here. Like, I can't.
Well, you find something like at a store or something. Like, bring me back something.
What do you want, a trinket from fucking Florida?
No.
Like,
I want you to bring me back some cigars, though.
no, dude, I don't know. I don't just smoke cigars. I already took you on a trip. Why don't you,
Cam,
you do something for me?
bring back some cigars for me.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, if you don't mind. And have the best time. Who's all there? Her parents and who else?
Her parents, her brother,
His wife.
wife, my two nieces that have the cutest little room with their bunk beds and like this awesome. They got their own TV. It's really cool. They got it all set up with like their cool toys and stuff. And there's like this top part of this house where you could see the ocean. And it's really
nice.
So I take the girls up there and eat lunch with them. And it's really scary to walk up it. It's cool. And if it was warmer, I'd take the girls anywhere they wanted to go. Like I'd go swimming with them. I would do all that. But you fucking cold, Andy. It's fucking brutal. Like I want to jump in the fucking water. I want to take
well, that's not happening.
Not happening, dude. So,
hey, do you and the brother-in-law hang out? Like, do you guys?
Yeah, like he's the nicest guy ever. They're all nice.
Like you and him, like, hey, let's go get a cocktail. Let's go throw football on the beach. Like, I mean, do you guys do stuff like that?
No, I mean he's got his family here. Like Kate wants to hang out with me if we're gonna go do something. You know.
Well, I think it'd be a nice gesture. Like maybe he wants to get
worry about yourself. Like worry about what you got going on. Like are you like you gotta take the kids places all day today? Does she got like a wine party? Do you gotta do stuff with the kid? Like do you gotta clean the house? You gotta fix something? Why don't you worry about what the fuck you're doing?
I think it'd be the right thing to do for you to say, hey, listen, why don't you and I go grab a cocktail? Go let him get away from his family, dude. You have to do that.
He's in the pool right now, man. I'm like I could be like, let's drive and go get a cocktail.
You have to. He needs to get away, dude. You have no idea. He wants to get away. So like, I'm just telling you, just take my advice, dude. Take my advice.
Well, you getting caught up in all your bullshit. Like, don't worry about me.
I love it, man. Have the best time, dude.
All right, I will, man.
As always, the Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Hair Club. Cam, tell us about Hair Club real quick.
Well, all you got to do is set up a consultation, and they'll tell you exactly what's going on with your hair. They'll be like, we're going to fix this part right yonder. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But you could have payment plans. It's easy peasy. Get the hell on it and get it on now. Get going now.
Yeah, baby. 800-279-7878 for Hair Club and hairclub.com. Visit their website, our landing page, hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. First Form and firstform.com. Cam, I've never felt any better than I have my entire life, man. I feel like I'm 19 years old again, ready to head to training camp,
Yeah, you look really good, too, when you're playing. So, listen, the last day when you actually took some more I think you had the pre-workout drink, that stuff. Like, your legs are a little better. They're a little better. But everybody else was drinking and eating the same shit. So it balanced everything back out, Andy. So you might have had a little bit of a step, but everybody else had like 5 steps.
Yeah, I know. But I'm glad you acknowledged that because the last game was my best game.
No, the first game was your best game because
the first game was too. Because why?
Because the team was terrible we played against.
I mean, that's just negative. That's negativity right there.
Man, what, dude? We're 3 hours in. Like, I can't be.
The longer you go, the more negative you go.
Terrible.
First Form and firstform.com. Hey, listen, our link. Use this link only. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Try it all. The fruits, the greens, the veggies, the protein, the bars, the apparel. Cam was a walking billboard for First Form. He wore First Form sweatpants and hoodies, maybe mixed in a Cam and Strick hoodie, but for the most part, a First Form hoodie and sweatpants every day on the trip.
Of course I did. It was the most comfy damn thing in the world, too.
Did you take scissors to your sweatpants to make them into shorts so you can wear some shorts there in Florida? Or is it sweatpants weather there, too?
No, it's sweatpants. Yeah, dude, it's cold here. I'm wearing my First Form shit right now. Although I got my First Form, and I got my First Form swimming trunks too that I'm not going to use because I'm going to freeze to death.
Oh my god, they have swim trunks?
Yes. Well, I'm using them as swimming trunks.
Swimming trunks. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Swimming trunks. Okay, yeah, no, that's exactly what they're called. Firstform.com, Cam. Again, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Check them out today. Bellman and Bellman.com, located where, Cam? Where are they located?
Try.
In Troy, Missouri, man. Buick GMC on one side of the street, just right across the street. You can throw a rock and you can hit them. You got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Say hi to Danny boy.
What up, Danbo?
Say hi to Kenny.
Hey, Kenny.
And Dale.
Dale. What's up, hum?
Oh, man. Listen, the best people, best customer service, best dealership you'll find anywhere. Get some new wheels in time for the spring and the summer. Today's the official first day of spring, by the way. Get out there to Bellman, though, and just check it out. No credit, no problem. You have issues. Everybody qualifies at Bellman and Bellman.com, so be sure to take advantage of that as well. All right, get your Sparks skate sharpener. Do it today. SPARX, Sparks.com. Check out their Instagram, their Facebook page. Tons of questions that you can get answered on there. They got a great Sparks community page on Facebook, so check all of that out. It is a game changer. It's a life saver. And I know we joke around and stuff like that, man, but I mean that, dude. It is the best thing you can invest in. If you have kids playing hockey, if you're a men's league player, whatever it is, it's going to save you so much money down the road. But the convenience factor, there's no way you can compete with the convenience of having your own skate sharpener in your house and being forced to go out to a hockey shop and get your skate sharpened by Seth, who's an absolute disaster, by the way. Absolute disaster.
God, he doesn't know what the hell he is.
He's at the Rocky Horror Picture Show the night before, Cam, till 5 a.m. Okay.
Nah, he's in his basement eating Cheetos, looking up weird things, trying to poke people on Facebook. You know,
late for work.
Evaluating good-looking girls on Instagram and saying they're ugly. On the comments and stuff like that. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Go to Sparks. SPARX, baby. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. It's going to save you more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. After you get those wheels sharpened by Sparks, then you get that training stick over there with Gel Sticks, gelsticks.com, GELSTX, the number one training tool in all of the world, Cam. For ice hockey players, you want to have that puck feel light on your stick. You want to feel stronger. You want to feel in control of your stick. You want to be able to maneuver, stick handle, shoot the puck with more velocity. And get yourself a gel sticks and prepare in the right way. Gel sticks and gelsticks.com, Cam. Gel sticks.
Yeah.
All right. Nothing's changed with our website, camandstrick.com, all the social media channels. You got to crush that like button. Give us a review. I want more and more reviews. Hey, Cam, did you bring that Jansen jersey home?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we may auction that off, too.
Yeah, so I'll do that 100%. Yeah, we'll give it to a fan. The best detailed review. Mm-hmm. We'll get a Jansen jersey. I'll sign that bad boy, and I'll send it to you. I think it's a NHL not game use, but it's a good one.
Replica. It's a replica.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
It's not game used.
Great, my bad.
And I apologize to all our. I know listen, it's a little more difficult. Cam's in Florida. The logistics. He doesn't know how to set anything up. We had some issues with him prior to getting everything going today. So if it doesn't sound as crisp or as clean or as clear, it's all good, man. He's in Florida, so next week we'll pick that back up. We'll be back in studio, so we'll bring it like we always do. Great interviews coming up, by the way, here on the Cam Strick Podcast, as always. All right, so check out our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook, everything, our social media. Follow all of us. And if you're new to the show, man, we're getting great messages from people who are just listening for the first time, and we love that, man. So welcome aboard. If you're new to the Cam Strick Podcast, welcome aboard. Love having you. If you're an OG, man, thanks for all the support over the course of all of this as we continue on with the Cam Strick Podcast. So, Cam, enjoy your trip, brother, man. Enjoy yourself. Now, be careful out there, okay? Go get some food, get some rest. Go hang out with your brother-in-law, dude. Take him for a drink. He needs it. Trust me, he needs it.
Love all you guys. See you, dudes.